Well, it has been a journey of sorts for all of you. You have traveled northeast from the isolated settlement of Kintargo, the city of Kintargo, 12,000 people, to the small, almost, unknown settlement of like 150 aquatic elves and half-elves, known as Asazi, and you have freed them from the grip of a fiendish aboleth who is dwelling in the waters off the coast. The aboleth had corrupted an ancient aboleth monitoring station and used it for nefarious purpose, fueling a massive necrotic ritual by like luring group of elf after group of elf there and killing them. You were not so easily cowed, seeing through his deception after a little bit. And it was Tommy the True who was pure enough of heart to resist the aboleth's, wiles, and defeat him kind of in one-on-one combat, which is a tale that will, ring throughout all time. Returning back to town with your addled companions after some amount of chicanery and gold and I think a favor being spent, you're all okay now. And Garm will tell you how much gold was spent shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you have decided to press on with your second primary objective of securing assistance from towns outside Kintargo, and you're going to travel now to the city of Vyre, the city of masks, also northeast of town, and see if you can secure a meeting and an agreement with one of the city's illustrious leaders. I believe you said you wanted to travel overland again. Is that correct?
Went so well last time. We were like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we just spent like 1,000 gold.
Sure. Someone roll percentiles for me. And we'll see what random
can we
get.
Identify the stuff in inventory as well?
Possibly. Give me a spellcraft check. Oh, yeah. That is a great sort of mighty cleaving.
Ooh.
This is an elixir of truth. And this is treasure. It's just worth money. I think that's everything.
Sick. Do you want that sword, buddy?
I'll take it because it is a two-handed greatsword, but I don't have cleave, so that part is dead on me. But
Oh, you can hold it for now.
I think Tommy has cleave.
they have Tommy
Yeah, but I also have weapon focus into my side.
Gotcha. You can train and spend some amount of downtime and money exchanging weapon focus for one feat for weapon focus with another feat. So, like, if you wanted to, spend a couple of weeks and train with the greatsword, you could, like, switch those feats over. There's rules for it. So, don't feel like, if you ever find some cool weapon, but you're like, it's like the wrong thing, there does exist, I think it's an Ultimate Campaign, Garm might know better than me, there's, like, retraining rules for that stuff. And it just costs gold and time. So.
Okay.
Don't ever feel like, it's stupid, it's not a scythe.
If you want to yeet the scythe.
Yeah,
Find, like, some cool-ass Earthbreaker or some shit.
Yeah, if you like, even just for a little bit. For like a month or two. But yeah, we got, a 73? Wow, dude. Buddy just wants to fucking kill you all.
Hey!
Someone now roll me a D4 to see how your fate is decided. Yo, Tommy! Oh my god. So you guys are traveling. The first day of travel, as these things are, is of course uneventful.
Can I get a rest?
Sure, I'll rest you, Caerrat. You know what? I'll let you go into this full hog.
Thank you. I'll do my best to wave it around.
I'm nothing if not a generous god.
300 gold from everyone.
Yeah,
Okay.
you send out another crow, Garm, detailing the situation, and, an appropriate amount of time later, there'll be another polite rap on the door, and you'll see the same, slick-haired tiefling gentleman with the hat and, the trench coat, and he'll be like, I've gotten yourself into a little spat of trouble, have we?
Yeah, I'll just be sitting on the ground.
Yeah, and you're sitting in the corner, and Sezzix is sitting on the ground. You can stand. You were just told to go to the corner.
Oh.
If I'm next to Caerrat, then I'm conscious. Or no, because his thing would have worn off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thing wore off.
Yeah. He's like, sitting on the floor like a child. Interesting. Very good.
Seems like a rough situation.
I don't judge. I, of course, don't judge.
Aren't
What can
you
I help you with
dominated?
today?
I'm dominated in this corner.
Oh, I see. Well,
That being said, I'll throw him underhand softball pitch. I'll likely miss a bag of gold.
sure. Toss it. See this attack roll, dog. No, he
Hey,
gets there.
Hey,
He gets there.
yeah.
He gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll catch it and be like, very well. He'll again open his briefcase. He'll call into it, and there'll be some rummaging around, and then a couple moments later, a small monkey hand will emerge with some scrolls, and he'll take them, and he'll hand them to you.
I'm sorry. We'll take a second one as well. 300 more from everyone. We're not gonna fall for this trick a second time.
But
Let's
But
all
of
be
course.
smart enough around this.
but of course, he'll fetch whatever scrolls you require and send them back. And give them to you, and then, after, making nice with everyone, he'll head off on his own way. He'll be like, if you need anything again, feel free to get in touch.
Thank you,
But of course, always at the service of Captain
guys.
Sargaeta.
Just saying, Wand of Break Enchantment's only 30,000 gold.
So, first day of travel, largely uneventful. You head more inland. The coastal terrain turns more into a hinterland terrain. The lower hills of great mountains and ranges and things like that. The trees, they go from being more lush and thin-branched to being smaller, scrabblier, hard-fighting trees trying to eke out whatever existence they can on minimal water and light and things like that. A lot less ground cover, you can see further. And when you start your second day, you found a path going along the tops of one of these ridges. Seems to be a well-worn path, though you haven't seen any travelers this day. As nightfall begins, you see maybe, another 30 minutes on, if you just pressed on a little bit more, a much nicer campground, as there seems to be some sort of structure up ahead. It looks like a building with a roof, pretty large size, but there's no settlements around here. And it doesn't seem to be on your map.
There is no situation where I want to go to a haunted house today.
I don't either. I heard what happened in your other campaign.
Yeah, I mean, you are too far away to know if it's a house or a temple or something. Probably not a house. It looks a little too big for that.
Could be an inn? Question.
Now listen, I suppose we do currently have full spell slots. Why don't we cast some buff spells, go in there, see what's going on. If it's cool, we walk 30 minutes away and take a nap. If it's not cool, well, we're already here. Let's make sure it's clear.
Yes. I too have
We
all
don't
my
want the
spell slots.
nearby people getting hurt.
Sure, just go ahead and jot down in a notepad document whatever spells you want to cast. You guys continue on for 30 minutes. Once you get maybe a minute or two away, it becomes clear that this is certainly a temple. It's made entirely of stone. Whatever roof it once has long since, gone away. And there seem to be some relief carvings of symbols, on some of the walls. It's got like these nice iconic, Greco-Roman pillars outside. Of course, no Rome here, but like, Chelish pillars, like Taldan pillars outside or whatever, flanking kind of a wide entry point. It almost looks like one of those ruins in World of Warcraft that's like Night Elf themed, where it's got like, a little stone platform, columns around it, maybe some walls, and then it's open to the sky. And there seems to be like some nice sculptures inside and like a fountain or like a large basin that water could collect in. Maybe the whole thing is 50 feet across.
What do these carvings look like?
Yeah, you're familiar with this deity of lunar change and shape change that is good aligned. That is Ashava, who's worshipped in Varizia. You guys are just like a stone's throw from there. And you know
the Moonlight Dancer.
Yeah, you would know about her, all the stuff that you think a character would know at the 23, and you could inform your companions about her.
Ashaya, the Moonlight Dancer. It's said that, before she ascended, she danced underneath the moonlight with this will-o-wisp. She spent hours dancing, contesting with the light of the stars, and eventually that will-o-wisp lost its power to steal from the living, and that deity-level will-o-wisp faded away, and Ashava consumed that spark and became the Moonlight Dancer. She's incredibly familiar for the artists who are stuck up, those who are lost in the world but still seeking to create. It's to find the beauty in the dull. It's that. And incredible that we would just find it wandering around.
Yeah, I mean, with like a 15 geography check, this looks like, a once well-traveled path, probably to Vyre and like other outlying settlements. And this temple probably like, saw a great deal of like, commerce and trade and stuff like that. Maybe people spending the night here, or, Ashava has like these once a month lunar parties when the moon is full or when the moon is empty sort of thing. So it looks like there could be a lot of activity here, though it doesn't look like there's been any in some time. And we'll just go ahead and roll a die. The moon is like not full or empty right now. It's like halfway. So it's not like an important religious day anyway. So you don't like know how much priests would be around, but you'd imagine more than 0, which is what you see right now. And it's like dusk now, so you can still see the outline of it or whatever, but there's no light emanating from it. But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
There's no priests here. We can go steal everything that they left.
We're not looting a good aligned temple, says
it's more like a Stonehenge type situation, Sezzix. Maybe there's something buried or something like really well hidden, but it's not like there's like a lockbox sitting out there for donations. It's like giant stone pillars that are like hundreds of years old and not much else. There's like this basin for holding water in the center, and it's like about it. But yeah, what would you guys like to do? Garm has told you all about it. Sezzix has greedily looked around.
Sezzix was definitely just making fun of Sierra. Like, Garm called that out correctly.
Well, I'm down with what the charismatic man wants to do.
What does Sierra think of there being? Yeah. What do you think of there being no priests?
It's not like she has prominence, much like, as much as I'll hold up my holy symbol. My followers, as well as hers, are much of a kindred spirit. We aren't very popular anymore.
As you start talking, I'll look at Tommy and gag.
Thank you. I'll look at Tommy and also gag.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Sure, you guys want to...
Buddy's gonna be like wondering why you guys are like coughing really funny.
where you're just miming sucking dicks. Yeah, give me a perception check as you guys go closer. You were like, 100 feet away or something. As you in general approach. Roll me percentiles and call high or low, Garm. And give you one more chance to evade destruction.
High.
Sweet. As you approach, on the other side of the basin, you see sleeping equipment and the form of a large-sized creature that seems to be on their side with their back to you. Yeah, you can point it out to your companions stealthily.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of you above a 20 will see that. Sezzix, you believe this is a giant.
Oh, we can just talk to our giant friend again.
Hey, buddy, it's one of you.
Ooh, should we say hi?
Caerrat, this one looks really big.
It does.
Should we let Buddy talk to it?
Do you want to go over and talk to it, buddy?
We should probably yell from a distance and not walk up on a sleeping giant. That'd be my suggestion.
Mm.
However, she might throw rocks at us if we do that. So, 50-50.
Do I know any sort of appropriate way to wake up a sleeping giant?
You were your experience with giants before you were saved by the Chelish Empire was one of getting the shit beat out of you and being put into slave labor type situations. So it's not necessarily a positive one. You do know, as a rule, of giants represent respect, strength, and at their core are cowards.
I should wake it up.
I mean, yeah, however you wake it up should not be timid, you would say. Should be loud.
We must be strong and loud and boisterous. That's too big of a word for Buddy, but you get the idea.
I mean, you say it in giant. You say boisterous in giant. You speak giant fluently, yeah.
Yeah.
And grog smash. Loud noises.
Yeah. All right. On the count of 3, make loud noises.
Sure. 1, 3.
Smash.
Giants don't have use for the number 2. That's not how it works.
Squeaking.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys make a bunch of noise. The giant will turn over. It's definitely Thelda, the hill giant you guys encountered before.
Did we roll a 73 last time?
She'll groggily wipe her eyes and sit up and be like, "Why you yell? Oh!" And she'll say in giant, "Greetings, comrades. Has the journey across the trails been well? You seem well rested and vivified by your exuberant travels." And in common, she's like, "You look okay."
Thank you. You look okay too.
In giant, I'll tell her about her impressive victories and triumphs and all this stuff.
I have heard tell that aboleths are dangerous creatures that can warp the minds of the feeble. You would do well to steer clear of them in the future. Fish monsters scary, no water.
Well, yeah, I'll inquire how their travels have been to find the dragon, the evil dragon.
Well, my journey continued more or less uneventful. I came upon this temple earlier this afternoon and found it in some modicum of disrepair. I placed the basin back upon here, collected some water from a nearby stream, took a shit over by those trees, and yeah, it's been relatively uneventful ever since.
Oh. Well, I hope it your future ventures find you well.
Yeah, the rest of you that don't speak giant, you hear got here today, move stuff, poop over there, and she points away from the ruins. You guys can make a perception check if you would like.
To hunt down giant shit?
I mean, to see where she pointed. If you
I'm
care.
hunting down giant shit.
Sezzix. No one else can really see, but with your dark vision, you can see that, like, right at the edge of your vision, there seems to be some, like, little, you know, like a mogul, like when you're skiing, there are, like, these little things you could dodge. It kind of looks like that. There's, like, a bunch of these, like, little lumps. And as you look closer with your 28, you see a couple of tombstones. You think it's, like, the edge of, like, a graveyard. But no one else seems to notice. And the giant certainly doesn't mention it in common. But yeah. Well, as we have treated before, you are welcome to share my hearth as it is. She'll go over to the basin, and she'll, like, pick it up, and she'll dump the water out, and, like, set it down, and then she'll start grabbing, like, pieces of wood, and, like, putting them into the stone basin. And,
sure,
like,
yeah.
a little bit of kindling and stuff like that. And she'll, like, start a fire over the next couple of minutes and invite you guys to, like, sit around it with her if you wish.
As she's starting the fire, I'll go and tell Caerrat that there's a graveyard over where she pointed.
Oh, we must go pay our respects. Tommy, buddy, please.
I
But
guess.
She'll, like, give you
fire.
a grunt of, like, go do whatever the fuck you want. And in Giant, she'll be like, if you wish to investigate my scat, I will not stop you, though I will tell you it is rather disgusting.
I told you I was searching for shit. You found it, I'm in.
Yeah.
We were looking
Those of you that wish to may accompany your erstwhile companion Caerrat as he ventures about 50 feet away from the giant towards the edge of a very small graveyard. Anyone with any rank in knowledge religion would know that it is a common practice among a lot of these inner sea deities for the priests to be buried at their temples. This seems to be a fairly old temple. You see dozen plus gravestones, some of which are so old that, like, they don't have writing on them anymore. They've just been worn down into, like, these stone slabs signifying, like, an unknown priest that was there some centuries ago. And yeah, dude, like, there was a basin that you imagine was for, like, offerings to gods and stuff like that. And there's just, like, there's, like, 15 pounds of giant shit. It's like the poop emoji, large size. It's just, like, filled this basin. There's, like, twigs and, like, bits of bone and stuff in it. It's like dog shit from a 1,600-pound creature.
I'll have to likely come and clean this temple soon.
But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it looks like a simple, like, graveyard.
Okay, yeah. I will go and offer up some prayers to the Moonlight Dancer. It's getting towards nighttime. I'll likely come back at midnight.
Sure. What would the rest of you guys like to do?
I'll be hanging out with the giant right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
It's
I'd
not
be
a
helping
temple
like Zelda.
It's not a temple of Desna. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. She'll tell you that she had a dream where she came upon the dragon that killed her clan, and she sought vengeance upon it, but the dragon was too far in the sky, so she realized that the first thing she would have to do is she'd have to find a weapon of unerring accuracy that, if thrown at the dragon, would stop it from flying so that she could close distance. So now she's on her way to a Varisian giant weaponsmith that her tribe knew of. He's deep in the Mindspin Mountains, and he can make any weapon that you desire for a price. She doesn't know what price he's going to ask, but she is willing to pay anything for it.
Nice.
I'm gonna go get rock and hit dragon with rock, then dragon, then dragon. Easy.
Yeah. You get dragon.
Would anyone like to stay up until midnight with Caerrat? Before Caerrat goes and does his midnight dancing, or is everyone just gonna go to bed at the usual time?
I'd probably just crash.
I'm gonna go to bed, but I'll be begging Caerrat to come to bed with me instead of doing what he's gonna go do.
You know Desna represents the stars, right? When you look up at the stars, we see thousands of other solar systems, thousands of other places of being. Each of them are connected, and each of them also have...
very loudly.
If we look at the moon's just reflecting off that star's light. She's just respecting another star, just in a different way.
I don't have the wisdom to understand what you're saying.
Now,
fair.
Ness, go ahead and come on to bed. Quit that science talk, girl, and get in bed.
I have a -1 wisdom. What you're saying is just rolling off me, alright? I have an 8 wisdom ability score.
Well, I'm gonna go twerk in the graveyard. If you want to watch, you can. I guess that's how I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, that was too much wisdom for me, man.
Alright, so y'all nod off, more or less. Caerrat, you wait a little while, and you go back, like, right around midnight, you think. The giant is snoring loudly at this point. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Does the giant snoring wake me up?
No, I mean, if you're asleep, you've fallen asleep with it. Also, I imagine most of you snores. It's an unattractive trait, and none of you have positive charisma modifiers.
I do. I have 12.
You don't snore, but you know your traveling companions do. You might have earplugs in. Whatever you normally have to do to sleep. I bet you your rat fucking snores, and you know Buddy snores. With his fucking deformed giant features. He's got like he's got like 3 lungs, like his body doesn't know what it's doing. It's like a fucking Mad Max mutant over here with his little tumors. But yeah. So you return to the poop pile.
We offer up to our prayers to the Midnight Dancer. I don't think I might have a scarf on me. I doubt it though.
Sure. Are you gonna clean the poop out of the basin?
Yeah, we're gonna be upset while we do it, but
okay. So you're gonna clean it, and then are you gonna consecrate it?
Yeah, we'll clean and consecrate this place.
How long does consecrate take to cast?
A standard action.
Okay. So I would say, how long are you gonna pray for while you're cleaning it?
We'll get through the cleaning process. I'm gonna guess that's about 10-15 minutes of giant shit.
Probably.
We'll finish up by 10:30 after doing the prayers, concentrates. We'll throw up some holy energy and pray for half an hour.
10:30 or midnight 30?
Midnight 30, I'm sorry.
Midnight 30? Okay. So as you're like praying, and maybe you've cast consecrate, sure you've cast consecrate by now, you see light begin to emanate from one of the gravestones. And you see a face appear, and it seems to be just like a skull. And it's like, how dare you come here? Who are you to do this?
I am Caerrat, a disciple of Milani.
Sure, roll this die. Milani the upstart? Yes, I've heard of her.
We are a rebellious bunch.
I see.
I've come across this Temple of Ashaya, and felt it was at least the right thing to do.
Yeah, go ahead and make a knowledge religion check as you're talking to this guy. Yeah, you have heard, obviously, as you know the story, you've heard of Will-o'-the-Wisps. Never seen one until now. As the head continues to float, completely disconnected from anything else, and you see, it is certainly a Will-o'-the-Wisp. And it's like, yes, I know the temple was desecrated. I was happy the giant did it. After I killed the last priest and drove those do-gooders from my lands, the temple was once again quiet, a place where I could look upon all the destruction and chaos I had sowed, and revel in its silence. But you have come now, bringing the songs of Ashava back, the dancing, the cheer, the hope. It sickens me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do you wish to incur my wrath, mortal? Desecrate this unholy spot at once, or there will be consequences.
Why does he always wear earplugs when he's sleeping, you know? It's incredibly inconvenient at times like this.
You could certainly, like, yell and awake your companions if you wish to go to combat. You can make, with that knowledge religion check, you could certainly know about the defenses of Will-o'-the-Wisps, though.
Yeah, let's say those out loud for someone that may not know them, such as me.
Sure, they have an exceptionally high armor class. They're immune to almost all spells, and they deal lightning damage.
Sick.
So you think that one would be quite a challenge for your party. You know that they're aberrations. They're not undead. You know, they're chaotic evil. They are naturally invisible. They have absurdly high armor classes. They attack versus touch. And they are immune to magic. They also feed on fear, however you want to interpret that.
Huh.
I see your simple mind is processing this. You're deciding if you're strong enough to kill me. Perhaps this will help. And you will see 3 more emerge from 3 more graves. As you rolled a 4 on that D4, buddy.
I see.
I'm feeling particularly generous in this moment.
Put the shit back.
I wish you to now take a shit on this. If you do so, I will let you rest in peace. Otherwise, you will rest here permanently. Garm's just losing it.
I think I lose all spellcasting abilities if I take an evil action.
No, it's just like a warning or whatever. Your line might have to fully shift. But no, so it's like, you guys rolled, and it's Will-o'-the-Wisps, and then you rolled 4, and I was like, oh god, they're just gonna fucking get murdered. And then I was like, okay, odds, like, 50% chance they aren't automatically active. And I was like, okay, the giant has, like, appeased them by being evil. So they're, like, fine. They're fine for a day, and you guys can rest here, nothing will happen. But if they go and stir the pot, they could come out. And then Garb's like, I'm gonna go stir the pot. I'm gonna go change things.
I have to, you know?
I thought you might leave it. I thought you might just be like, well, it is what it is.
Crazy.
Yep.
If the blaspheming light ever willfully commits an evil act, she loses all class features, including spellcasting.
Taking a poop on a gravestone is not an evil act.
Let's go! It's just a descriptor.
I mean, like, Milani's chaotic, so you have no problems there.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you might have like some emotional qualms about it, but certainly taking a dump to save the lives. Like, you do the math, you don't think you guys can survive this encounter.
Fantastic. This is a shit for us, team.
So, mechanically, they have an AC of 26, and their attacks are plus 16 against touch that do 2d8 electricity. So in the first round, Garm would take 8d8 damage. Like, basically guaranteed.
Jeez.
Well.
Yeah. So, I mean, you take your poop, maybe you're crying or whatever. He'll be like, yes. Your sorrow fills me. Thank you. If they're ever around a frightened or dying creature, they gain fast healing, Garm.
Yeah, I'd consider myself shaken.
Good. You see them bolstered by your fear as they drink of it. Yeah, you can spend however long you'd like to here. They can tell you all about the priests that used to live here that they murdered. As Will-o'-the-Wisps have a burning hatred for that deity, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It's like their racial hatred is against worshippers of that god.
Yeah.
Well, you can certainly return to camp and go to sleep, snuggle into that bed. When you guys wake up in the morning, the giant will still be snoozing.
It's time to leave, team. It is time to leave.
Can't I make breakfast first?
No, it's time to leave.
But why, babe?
It's time to leave.
Don't you want to prepare spells, babe?
No. No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can certainly scamper on.
We're gonna come back here with sea invisibility and like 4 more levels and purge this place.
Yeah, you just take an action with the rebellion tracker next book to just clear it out if you'd like.
Fantastic.
They're on borrowed time, as it were. But yeah, you can bid farewell to the giant. Thelda will groggily wake up and like rub her eyes and kind of like shift a little bit and be like, "Going already? Bye." And then Giant will be like, "Well, fate is a fickle mistress, and I'm sure that our paths will intertwine one day again soon.
Yes,
I bid thee farewell."
Yes, and I hope you soon have your weapon you're seeking.
Yes, the next chapter in my story will be told, written in the blood of my enemies.
Here.
Kill it good. Yeah. You guys proceed onward. Garm, you can certainly fill in your companions at a later time if you wish.
There's will-o-wisps there. I pissed them off and just kind of kept pushing the button, you know? I shouldn't be left alone with enemies. I don't know how to stop.
I know how to stop you, Garm. Dominate you. The rest of your journey is uneventful. You can get rested one more time. And now, finally, 2 weeks after I thought you were there, you find yourselves arriving at the city at the start of, like, the end of the afternoon, kind of the warmest part of the day. Dusk is on the horizon, and you can see this sprawling city out before you. It's big, as like big and, busy as Kintargo, if not more so. You know that it has a population of about 17,000. Some main features here include this island off to the side. That is basically like an Alcatraz type island. I think I have a picture here for you. Yeah. So, let's share this guy. You know that this is the... I think I'm going to map a bit here. This right here is called Dunrock Prison. Over here is Caerrat Island. This is where the very, very wealthy live. This is the bustling harbor. Very busy, just like the harbor of Kintargo. And then the rest of the city is divided into other districts. There's a river that runs through it right along here, which, as you can see, is like a primary area of activity. But yeah, aside from that, there is not much else you can tell from here. You'd made checks in the past, so I will just kind of remind you what you know of the city. The city of Vyre is known as the City of Masks. The de facto kind of deity that is venerated or at least respected in this city. The city is built around this one deity's ethos, is the god of murder, assassination, secrets, and torture, and poison, Norgabur. As a result, there are several factions in here that directly, derive influence from him. There's, of course, the Church of Norgabur. So there is a very powerful church presence in this town to this deity, who is neutral evil. There are a group of, prison wardens and aficionados who work underneath the Master of Chains, who's in charge of the prison. There are some Hell Knights here that typically show up in, from various different factions. You don't imagine the Order of the Torrent would necessarily be here, but of the dozen or so Hell Knight factions, there can always be a handful of aspiring Hell Knights found at the prison, kind of plying their trade and things like that. And then the rulers of the city are in fact five-fold. The city is built around 5 promises, kind of like the 5 laws of the land. The 5 promises are... Sidebar on page 68. That's where I am. Here it is. The first one, I shall honor all coin. The second, I shall speak many names. The third, I may wound, yet shall not kill. The fourth, I know none are below me. And the last, I shall let closed doors remain closed. Those are the 5 promises of the city, and as a result, there are 5 rulers. There is the Mask of Whispers, the Mask of Keys, the Mask of Delights, the Mask of Blades, and the Mask of Blood. Of those, you would know that the Mask of Keys is in charge of Dunrock, the prison, and the Masks of Blood are the Mask of Delights. Sorry, the Mask of Delights are the ones that deal with all forms of like entertainment and visitors to the city. But yeah, that's kind of what you know. Also, you are not unarmed. If you recall from the dossier long ago, even if you don't, your characters do, you found, as you were clearing out the Lucky Bones, a bunch of documents that mentioned this city. There was a bunch of deeds to properties in this city that were signed over from one person to the Thieves Guild. And there were notes and stuff along with those that indicate that there was basically like a confidence scam that occurred where this person named Molly Mayapple, who owned a bunch of properties like inns and taverns and stuff like that, or like lodgings, maybe like some rental properties, was effectively scammed out of like a dozen properties and was forced to like sign them over to the Thieves Guild. The other bit of information you have is that of the 3 leaders of the Thieves Guilds and the Lucky Bones, one of which was a spy master, fled to, quote, warn their contacts in Vyre that the Hell Knights were investigating. So those are kind of your 2 points of like trivia about this place, things that your characters know, and like, so you can certainly have talked about it before traveling this far, what you guys want to do when you get here, and could have brought things with you if you want. So I'll let you guys chat.
We want to approach.
Well,
Yeah.
we all need masks, right?
Masks and names. Good thing I took disguise.
Yeah, Sezzix, with your knowledge local, you know that you don't mechanically need a mask. The most, it's more of like a spiritual thing in that some people might wear masks, but the most important part is that you can use whatever name you want when you get here, and people aren't supposed to be looking into who you actually are. Like, oh, it's the senator, or like, oh, it's this important politician. Nobody cares. If anyone blabs about your secret identity or your purpose there, it's like a surefire way to get assassinated.
Yeah, it's on them, not me.
Yeah. So, you can just come up with a fake name, would probably be easy enough. You could certainly disguise yourself if you wish to, but it is not required.
I'm Sezzix.
I'm Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
Tommy Bobby.
He's friend.
Yeah.
I was gonna say fella.
I'm fella. Yeah, fella's good. I'm fella.
Yeah. So you have these deeds from the Lucky Bones from the previous adventure. They're proof of ownership of several warehouses and lots in Vyre's waterfront district by a woman named Molly Mayapple. It seemed, based off of your readings, that the Grey Spiders initially planned on using these deeds to blackmail Molly, but the Order of the Torrent destroyed the Grey Spiders before they can enact this plan. So yeah, and that was about 40 years ago. So you don't even know like if that woman's alive or whatever. But you do have the deeds to several properties in Vyre.
These seem valuable.
Yeah, would you
Let's
like
see
to
who's-
bring those with you?
Yeah, we'll bring the deeds with us. We'll see who's newly owning these buildings and see what we can get out of them. Because I'm guessing these buildings aren't vacant anymore.
Yeah. I mean, so you guys can head into town. It'll be like a busy, bizarre street. There'll be vendors on either side of multiple different, like, exotic things will be for sale. Here we go. Looks like the population is mostly humans, halflings, and tieflings, with a smattering of other stuff. So there'll be like a bunch of like halfling, human, and tiefling vendors selling all manner of wares, some of which are just like selling food and snacks. Others are offering guide services. There's definitely like 2 or 3 brothels just like as you go into town, like by one of the entrances that you're going through, where there'll be like a tiefling woman like seductively like suggesting you could come inside and like ply the wares. And as like she locks eyes at the 2 gay gentlemen and sees that, you know, like it's not her cup of tea, her form will change and she'll just become like a very attractive, well-hung tiefling man. And she'll be like, the countless delights has anything you could desire.
Absolutely incredible.
But yeah, mechanically, you can buy anything under like 9,000 gold pieces here without needing to roll. Anything more than that, we can roll. So, yeah, lots of stuff. And they have 9th level spellcasting available.
Damn.
Yes.
9th level? Or
yes.
Huh.
Welcome to the City of Masks. You can get whatever you want, though it will have a cost. So yeah, you guys head in through the, probably the West Watch area. So on like the western side of town. You know that the properties are for the the Vice, which is right around number 4. I just gotta find the location here. Yep, so you're right there in like the crux of the harbor if you're still looking at this map. You know that the deeds of her properties like right here. I'll share it again.
In the green circle?
Yep, in the green circle there, and you guys are entering from like here. As you're approaching from the south. So you'll have to like traverse the town a little bit to get to that area.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You quickly travel through this kind of district that you're in. You see lots of temples here. They are not kind of uniform in construction. Like you've been to larger cities before, maybe where there's like a planned temple district and it's like here's a church to this deity, a church to this deity, and they all look different and have like all sorts of iconography and are built in a certain way that has holy significance, like with high steeples or rounded roofs or domes, all sorts of different things. These just look like businesses, you know, like a standard, you know, narrow alley, a bunch of businesses, right? But you notice that their storefronts or whatever looks like walls have been demoed and like conjoined several businesses into make like a church. And yeah, there are churches too. All sorts of Norgabur adjacent deities. There is all sorts of like Norgabur, other like lawful evil or neutral evil. There's some chaotic neutral deities. You do not find any like good deities here. Though, as you're on the lookout for anything like more aligned with what you are, you see an old cathedral to Abadar. Like the design of it is very like Abadar-esque, very Iomedae adjacent. And as you like can see it as you walk by it, it looks vacant. And it's certainly the grandest building here. But yeah.
Why is this one empty? Can we bother some locals?
Sure. The locals here seem to be wearing like all sorts of like religious outfits and things like that. You can go up and talk to Evens, they'll be evil. There is a neutral gentleman standing outside, and he's like, the end times are coming. The end times! You there! You there, boy! Come close, come close! The end times are coming! All you know is coming to an end!
Oh, but doesn't that make the time we get to enjoy now more the better?
Why enjoy when nothing matters? Do as you will! There are no consequences, for tomorrow we are dead!
If tomorrow there bring no consequences, then why does that...
He'll put a finger on your mouth and be like, wait, do you hear? The sound of extinction draws near. And he looks up to the sky and he looks at the moon. And he's like, do you not hear its whispers? It calls to me. It tells me that soon we will all be at peace. Ah, rapturous death. Take me, Grotius, I am ready! Garm, even or odds?
Evens.
Sure. As you're chatting with this gentleman, who, like, obviously seems deranged and you don't think you're going to get any information from him.
After he yelled out Grotius,
he'll be like, Grotius, take me! You'll see a halfling walk up to him and, like, produce a shiv and just, like, stab him twice in the side. He'll drop to the ground and the halfling will scoop up his coin purse and, like, tuck it into his belt and look over to you and, like, wipe the blood against his leg as the man just kind of bleeds out and, like, his eyes flutter backwards. And be like, sup?
How we doing?
You don't look like you're from around here. He'll stow the dagger.
Nope.
That was easy. I'll point at the dead body.
Yeah, he seemed kind of like he wanted that.
Oh, yeah, he did. He hired me for that.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting how you knew where the pouch was immediately. I'll make a sense motive, but I intrinsically kind of believe this guy hired an assassin to kill himself.
Yeah. Do you believe this guy's telling the truth?
This city is so strange.
Oh, yeah. That's old man Jebs. He's been scrounging for coins for the last 15 years, ever since he was touched by Grotius. Kept saying the end times were coming, but man was too damn healthy. So he squirreled away enough savings. 5 Gs is enough to pay for the services of yours truly, and I was more than happy to oblige.
I suppose that's how the town works.
Well, I mean, that man was clearly that man was clearly delusional. You know, I'm not going to pay someone to kill me. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting way for him to do it.
Hey, you know, religious sycophants, what are you going to do?
Truly.
Well,
speaking of religious
be safe.
sycophants.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that Temple of Abadar?
Oh, you don't want to mess with that.
I see.
There's he'll be like, there's lots of, let's say less than ethical organizations out there. Myself excluded, of course. I'm a respectable member of the city here. You can call me, what's your name?
Taric.
Oh, I'm Taric.
You're Taric.
I'm also Taric, yes, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're all Tarics, right? So, anyway, this organization, they go by many names, though, around here we call them the Scarlet Sign. They're very good at what they do, and what they do is kill people. Anyway, there used to be a church to Abadar there, or, a while ago, and, yeah.
Then they got Scarlet Lettered.
Then they got Scarlet Signed. They're all dead, and that's probably their headquarters, but no one really wants to go check, because it doesn't seem worth it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Also, the Scarlet Sign is run by a demon, at least that's like the word on the street, but I mean, you don't know. Anyone says what they want to in this town. I just accepted it gospel, though, and I don't walk by there.
No reason to ask more questions, you know?
Mm-hmm. What are you doing in town? You don't have to tell me, of course, but if you want to tell me whatever you want to, I'll listen.
Wandering around.
Yeah?
Seeing cool things.
What about you, big boy? He'll jibe Buddy. You're like 5 feet taller than him. He's a half.
Yeah. What he said.
All right, big man.
Fella, you are so smart.
Well, folks, have fun walking around town. Be careful who you talk to.
Thank you, Taric. I appreciate it.
Pleasure as always, Taric. And he'll give a nod to you, Sezzix. Taric. And he'll head off.
All right. Well, that's fun. Let's not walk in there.
Sure.
What about...
That was one of the deeds we have?
No, it's just a nice building. You guys haven't even gotten to the circle yet.
Okay.
You're just walking through the temple district, known as Heretics Row, where the ownership of the buildings changes hands so quickly because all of the evil deities are warring with each other. So, like, the Church of Norgabur is, like, the biggest street gang, and they've been around the longest, but all the others, like, are constantly shifting hands as to who owns them and who has enough control over them. So it's literally just gang war territory is what you've walked into.
Perhaps we should leave.
But it's like a war of assassins, so the streets are very clear. Yeah, the body of that guy is gone.
Already been cleaned up.
Yeah, you can hurriedly leave this district if you want to.
Yes, let's not be here.
Sure. Your travels take you out of the Sanctuary District and into Night Crown, towards the great market of Vyre, known as the Opal Market. It sprawls in the city's heart, and as nightfall begins to fall full and robust, it is quiet at night and dark, but ahead of you is a riot of color. There are, like, dancing lights in the sky. There's all sorts of ever-burning torches. It, like, assaults your senses with all the vibrancy and motion and things like that. Tommy, this is probably, like, the wildest shit you've ever seen. Buddy, these lights are just like those lights that fascinated you, and maybe you look away.
A bad moment with those.
Yep. Here we go. Outlandish bargains can be claimed in the Opal Market, and fortunes for those lucky enough to attract the right attention at the right time. Exotic companions, dinosaur tamers, caterwauling silt walkers, flaming sword swallowers, con artists, shady alchemists, brilliant inventors, peddlers of untested experimental drugs, purveyors of strange magic, and more are common sights here. Yep. Overlooking all of this, there seems to be a nice, like, gated community, kind of like the Monty Burns manor from The Simpsons. There is a nice house on a hill with nothing else around it and, like, a large yard that's surrounded by wrought iron fences and seems to have some guards posted, kind of overlooking this sprawling market. But aside from that, it's just like wall-to-wall salesmen selling you all sorts of goods.
I suppose we should find another cult member of Grodius to get stabbed to death and talk to a friendly assassin to figure out what's going on with that building.
Yeah, I mean, who would you like to talk to? You want me to just roll it up? Evans boy. Oh, you got it. What do you want to talk to?
We'll go talk to, like, someone at a food stall or something.
Sure. You come upon a dwarf.
Ah, greetings, sir.
This dwarf looks different from other dwarves you may have seen. He has, like, bright white skin and, like, dark gray features. And he has, like, beady red eyes.
Huh.
As you walk up to him and say greetings, he'll just kind of grunt. What do you want?
Maybe a meal? Maybe a quick conversation?
He'll be like, middle, top, bottom.
Middle.
He'll look at the rest of you. Middle, top, bottom.
Middle.
Two middle. He'll look at the rest of you.
Top.
Top.
Ha.
Enough. He reaches underneath and he pulls out like a 20-pound scorpion. And he slams it on the table. He cuts off the tail. It squeals in pain. He holds it down. He cuts off the head and the two front legs. He then slides the middle and the top into two piles. Grabs a second scorpion from, like, a bin of them. It sticks him a couple of times. He doesn't seem to care. He hacks it apart in a similar fashion. He, like, wipes snot and mucus on his hand, grabs a couple of wooden plates, and slides the various parts of the scorpions underneath them, making 4 plates. He then opens up a small bin on the counter, and you see it's full of lime slices, and he takes a slice of lime and he spritzes it across each one of yours. And then he kind of, and he'll cough up a loogie to the side. And as he does, he'll again wipe his nasty face. And he'll open up another bin, and he'll pull out a little sprig of cilantro, and he'll, like, tear a piece onto each one. And then he'll slide them over to you. 2 silver each.
Huh. I'll give him a gold piece.
Thanks. He'll take it and, like, tuck it into his belt.
So, what's
It's like a
going on with
sushi stand. There's, like, little stools you guys can sit at.
Yeah. It's scorpion sushi. So what's going on with the big metal scary building? Like the fenced in place.
He'll gesture at it with a thumb and be like, Cobweb Manor. It's where the queen lives.
The queen?
Yeah, Queen of Delights. She runs the market. You know
she
the
runs
queen
that brothel too.
You know the Queen of Delights is like the de facto point of contact for outsiders and like visiting diplomats and dignitaries and things like that. Basically what you guys are trying to be.
I guess it's a good place to
Because you're
start.
trying to create an alliance between this city and your city.
We should probably talk to the emissary people then. That'd make sense.
Yeah, are you guys eating your scorpion?
I'd feel insulted if I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I was
Everyone
hungry.
give me a fortitude save. This is a poison effect.
Would he be insulted if I cast Purify Food and Drink before I ate?
Doesn't seem to care.
Sick, I'll do that.
Are you only casting it on yours?
If you would like me to cast it on yours, you can spoil the experience.
All of you have a micro hallucinogenic trip. It is fucking wild. It only lasts about 6 rounds. As you like get into the meat of it and you're about like halfway through your meal, maybe one of you will see like your scorpion reassemble itself and then like don glasses and begin instructing you. This will be what a Tommy sees. It'll like don glasses and it'll pull out a chalkboard and it'll point at the chalkboard and it'll be like, this is the god of moons. This is the god of stars. They're very similar. Moon plus star equals Tommy. Do you understand now? And it has like the face of Caerrat. And like as you're like starting to understand it, it just goes back to being food. You are nauseated for a minute with your 12th. You're just like vomiting off to the side. It's fucking horrible. Buddy and Sezzix, your trip is nowhere near as bad. And when you finish, you feel invigorated. You have a +5 to charisma-based checks for the next hour.
Hey, let's go.
You are like talking a mile a minute. And you're like always saying like the right witty thing at the right witty time.
Buddy's funny. I love this fella guy. Holy shit.
Tommy's just like, I don't understand. I'm too dumb. I fucking hate stars. But yeah. As soon as Tommy starts retching, the guy will kind of give an experienced and world-weary sigh, and he'll grab like a bucket and go over there and he'll put it underneath Tommy as he's vomiting. The dwarf gets like vomit all over him. He doesn't seem to care. He kind of just slicks it off. You notice he doesn't wash his hands and he goes back to serving people food.
Very comforting.
There's no serve safe certification in this place.
Yeah. Nah. But yeah, what would you guys like to do? Tommy?
Did we overhear any rumors before or after our trip?
So far you haven't overheard any rumors. You guys could spend like a couple of hours asking around town if you want to, and you might be able to learn some with like diplomacy checks. Or you could just continue on as you are, which is just like walking through, talking to people you meet.
Yeah, let's just continue walking through the town.
Yeah.
I mean, this is that emissary we can just go and bother, you know?
Yeah, you
We're
want to
right
approach the big house?
Cobweb
It's actually-
Manor, you know?
That's probably a good idea, because like we could also talk about these deeds too, and probably get a little
We
bit of
probably shouldn't
information.
talk about those quite yet. They were probably stolen.
Oh,
So
They don't know about these people.
Yeah, I mean, we can. They're definitely legally ours. We can probably press them, but we should try and figure out who owns them before we press them.
Sure. You guys can go up to the gates of this manor house. You see that there is like a gatehouse that does have a couple of guards stationed there. There seem to be gentlemen wearing like breastplate and medium armor, Cobra, and they have masks on, like actual nice metal masks. They are two-toned, and are like purple and white. And they're wearing tabards in like the similar color, and they have like short swords and shields on their back.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can certainly approach.
Greetings. We are folks from outside of town. We're not really sure how to go about seeking an audience, but figure this is as good a place to start.
Yeah, they don't move or acknowledge you in any way.
I'll like point at the door, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, so like they're standing next to like a 12-foot tall wrought iron gate that is closed. The door would be like, you know, a couple 100 feet up the hill to that manor.
So yeah, they're like Britain guards, you know.
Yeah, they're just like standing outside the fence. But like you point at the gate or whatever, and I mean, you can't make out any facial expressions, but one will turn his head and look at you.
Yeah, I understand that.
Go ahead and make a knowledge and ability check. Anyone.
I definitely have that one.
You guys don't know the proper way to like approach nobility, and it is very apparent.
I am a...
As you guys are standing there kind of like dumbfounded for a minute, one of the guards will take a step forward, and he will lean over, and he will say, "This is not how you go about doing this." And he'll go back to his post. The other guard will turn and look at him, and then they'll go back to not doing anything.
So does Buddy just climb the gate?
Please don't do that.
There's a small crowd that's gathered as you're like chatting with the guards for a couple of minutes. You can look back and you see like maybe 3 or 4. They look like adventurers, you know, like they probably have some nefarious class levels or whatever. A nice little diverse group of people, and they're like chatting amongst themselves. And you see one of them has like pulled out a piece of parchment and is like writing things down, and the other's like nodding or whatever, and he's like pointing at someone and nodding and stuff like that. You've seen a bookie before.
It's an adventuring party book.
They're taking bets on what's going to happen with you.
Huh.
And as you look over, they'll kind of like, "You're doing great!"
Thanks. Look, guys. I guess we run away before we get beaten up by the mob. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just work here, you know?
The mob wouldn't mess with me. Can I
They
intimidate
have
the mob?
9th level spells here, Cobra.
Who would you like to intimidate? There's like the 2 guards that are very like stone-faced standing in front, and then behind you, there's a group of like 3 or 4 people that are dressed similar to you, just kind of like hanging out and talking about you.
I'll go to Caerrat and be like, "Do you want me to fight these guys for us?"
I mean, you don't need to fight them, but you could tell them. You could ask them politely. So, look, man, I don't know what I'm doing here. I got to the gate, and that's as far as I can get us. We can ask around, try and figure out. I guess they have a better idea of what's going on in this town than anything else. That'd be kind of
Who
funny.
do you want to talk to, Tommy?
I was gonna talk to a guard with a diplomacy check.
Sure. What do you say?
So how do we go about being presentable enough to get this meeting going?
You go over to, like, the same guard that seems to have broken protocol wants to talk to you. And, like, if you could see the sweat, you would see it. But sadly, you can't because he's wearing a mask. He'll, like, break posture a little bit and turn and look at you and be like, you need to secure an invitation if you wish to attend. You need to secure an invitation if you wish to attend the Queen's banquet. And as he says that, you see his body, like, become unnaturally rigid and, like, snap to attention, as does the other guys. And then he says nothing.
We have to... Alright, I'll tell my party,
didn't we have an invitation? I remember hearing about this ball.
Nope. You were invited to a dinner with Thrune back in town.
Yeah, I don't want to go to that dinner.
There's, like, a gala event coming up back in Kintargo in a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we did get invited to a ball, just not this cool ball, you know?
It's not the important one.
Okay. Well,
you guys can all make sense motive checks, by the way.
Ooh, I love making checks.
Can we tell that they're seizing up?
Yeah. That's what the sense motive check is for. Yo, you definitely know what someone looks like when they're dominated. These people are definitely dominated.
You guys think there's another one nearby?
We should probably leave now. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, they do not move. They continue doing their job. Yeah, you guys can wander off. Where'd you like to go next? The group of people that were betting on whether or not you were going to get horribly murdered, kind of like, and like one guy will like kind of nod, be like, I told you they weren't going to go for it, as he like scoops a bunch of silvers and golds into his hand and slides it into his coin pouch.
Well, at least someone came out on top from this situation.
Yeah.
We didn't die.
I'm proud of it.
Correct.
I'm still confused why we left with my 6 roll. I didn't see what was wrong. But why do we have to go? As you're like holding my hand like a little kid through Disneyland.
All right. Well, that's another distraction. Last opportunity. Do we make it to the circle?
Yeah, I mean, do you guys want to go to the circle? I'm literally just telling you what you see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we'll hear about this invitation later.
Yeah, I just told you the districts you're entering into.
We get distracted, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you pass through South Market, so you leave this area, and the next one is, in fact, the Vice. The bustling waterfront district known as the Vice is so called for the belief that the area is where Vyre seizes new visitors and never lets them go. This is the place where travelers to Vyre first set foot in the city when arriving by boat. It has a bulk of the city's infrastructural support. It has hostels, inns, and taverns throughout the district. There are more eminent establishments that feature small roving staffs of guides who serve as self-styled reputation watchers, doing their best to ensure that their guests retain their anonymity. There is one place that certainly jumps out at you. The Dancing Cat. There's a gaudy sign of a cat leaping on a bed of hot coals. This seems to be a fine establishment. A very fine establishment. And it is like the first kind of noteworthy one that you see as you walk. But there seem to be many along the waterfront as you go. So, like, if I was to draw another thing, you guys are now more or less in that circle. But going, along the waterfront, there are a bunch of these businesses. Like, all like, it's like a tavern or a bed and breakfast, like overlooking the water. And there's just like a bunch of them. The first one that seems to be like prominent, though, is the Dancing Cat. And there's more of them as you go that are also named. But yeah. What do you guys want to do? You are in the circled area on the thing.
What are the properties? Like, can we look through the town, see what properties are still remaining?
I just want to find some, like, addresses or whatever. The deeds seem to be The deeds seem to be for like a couple of vacant lots. There is also a couple of buildings that seem to be in pretty bad disrepair. It doesn't look like anything has happened with these properties. None of them are like the waterfront properties. They're all a little further back from that, like, right on the water area. And among the deeds, there is also another address that is on the waterfront that seems to be a thriving business known as the Seven Apples, which would be another, like, inn/hostel tavern place. But of all of them, that seems to be the only one that is still, like, functioning. The rest are just, like, abandoned buildings or vacant lots.
Okay, do we want to get a room there?
Sure. Probably going to need room for at least a couple days.
The consensus of one agrees. You guys are a talkative bunch today. And I'm the one that overslept. So, you guys can certainly head into the Seven Apples. You see a sign outside of a very simple and, like, elegant caricature of a stack of 7 apples in a bushel barrel. Hence the name of the business. There is also a person in here. She looks rather polite. And she is behind a counter, so you don't see that she's not wearing shoes, but she's certainly a halfling, and she seems fairly old. And as you come in, she will turn to you and say, welcome to the Seven Apples. I'm Molly, how may I help you? Looking for a room for the night?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
But of course.
Is that, you said Molly, correct?
Molly Mayapple, name's on the business.
How could we go about getting a nice meal?
Oh, well, I can provide food, drink, accommodations. I could name a few restaurants as well if you'd like to see what the city has to offer. I don't know what your business is, nor do I need to know. Whatever you wish to do in town is up to you. The city is yours.
In the deeds, did it seem like Molly fell for some bullshit, or like was she just some lady that got scammed?
Basically, they acquired these deeds. They probably stole them, and then they were going to use them to blackmail her. But they were never able to follow through.
Oh, okay. So yeah, these were just straight stolen. Sick.
Yeah, they acquired them somehow, like either through like a confidence scam. Like she did not give them up willingly; they were taken from her. Yeah. But yeah, she'll get you the keys all together, separate. How are y'all bunking tonight? I've got cheaper accommodations, more expensive ones. Do you have an idea of what you're feeling? You gonna be just kind of enjoying the city in the room for the minimum amount of time possible? Or do you want to be doing stuff in the room? Do you want it to have like a table, a lamp? We got all sorts of different options here.
A table would be
She
fantastic.
shows you like a nice sign that seems to be like on a piece of wood, and it has like trashy rooms, basically, 5 copper a night, nicer rooms, 2 silver a night, really nice rooms, 1 gold pieces a night.
But you sleep anywhere.
I'm in that super shitty room.
We'll get a nice room, because we can split the cost.
So Sezzix and I will share a shitty room,
Dutch.
and then you guys can have like
We're
a
gonna
nice
go
room.
Dutch.
Well, we're in a relationship. It's not Dutch for us.
So the 2 of you are sharing a room, and then the 2 of them are sharing a room.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want the medium or the high or the low?
Oh, we're always on a budget. We
Sure.
go big.
Yeah, I mean, it's only half a gold piece because we're
We go
sharing.
big.
But of course. She will grab a couple of keys, and she will hand them to you, and she'll be like, it's up the stairs, 2nd door on the right, and 4th door on the left. And yeah, if you need anything else, feel free to ask.
Fantastic.
Do you have any luggage? Or she kind of like looks you over. Looks like you're traveling with what you got. Wayward souls after my own heart.
on a wayward path, many stars beyond.
Yeah.
I kind of stroll up the stairs.
She'll let you go to your rooms.
Opinions, team.
Buddy thinks she's nice lady.
Because everyone uses fake names here, should we try to verify that it's really her?
It's kind of... I think that's... we could do that by asking how she lost them. Don't say, what were they, the gray spiders or whatever? The people that stole.
I don't remember the name of the, I might have it written down, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Well, as you guys are like kind of talking over stuff
Gray
or whatever,
spiders.
you can take in the nice accommodations of your room. There are these beautiful like oil lamps that have little turnkeys on them that like you've only seen in like the most decadent hotels back in Kintargo. Your rooms each have one of those. There's also a small wash basin that seems to have like magically conjured water that then funnels outside or just goes somewhere you're unsure. It doesn't seem to like have any plumbing underneath the sink. And there's like a nice queen size bed in each of the rooms.
I love magic.
Even in the shitty room?
Yeah, Garm said you guys both got nice rooms.
Well, we got a nice room. I don't know if they
We
do
got a
that.
nice room. They got a shitty room. They decided to split that.
Oh,
Yeah, it says we can take a shitty room.
oh, if you guys are taking a shitty room, yours will not be on the second floor. She'll like hand you the keys and say you're upstairs on the left, and then she'll be like, the rest of you, it's over this way, and she'll just walk with you down the stairs into the basement, and you'll see it's just like a basement. And there's a couple of cots that are like folded up against the wall, and there's some cots that are unfolded, and there's like some people down there playing cards. It seems like you could comfortably sleep like a dozen people here, and there's maybe 3 or 4 already. And she'll be like, yeah, wherever you want to, watch your stuff. Not responsible for any lost goods. Have fun, boys. And she'll go upstairs.
It's like a hostel.
Yep. Just a bunch of random people downstairs.
I'll
I'll
choose
store my nice stuff in their room and just like cuddle my gun.
Sure, I mean, all the people downstairs are armed. If it makes you feel better.
Oh, I just don't want someone to steal it.
Oh, yeah. There is a big sign in the hostel room that again details the 5 promises. I shall honor all coin, I shall speak many names, I may wound yet shall not kill, I know none are below me, I shall let closed doors remain closed.
So they won't steal it.
So yeah, what would you guys like to do? You're in the city, you're in the tavern, it is her tavern. I mechanically cannot advance the story. That is up to you guys.
I kind of just want to ask her how long she's been running this tavern. If it's been like 50 years, I'm kind of inclined just to give her shit back. I don't really want to be associated with this town, so if I can just get it away from us and maybe earn some favors, I'm kind of a fan of that.
Yeah, I feel like having an innkeeper who hears a bunch of shit would be pretty good to get all the rumors like first without having to bribe every single time.
Sezzix?
Yeah. I was hitting the wrong key.
Valid.
What's the any key? What about you, Tommy boy? Sorry, buddy.
I say we just offload these
Sure.
deeds and see.
How do you want to approach her?
I'll try and like get her like while like I'll get like order some tea or something, and while we're sitting talking shit, I'll ask her how long she's been running the store.
Sure. So you and Tommy are up there in your room. You invite her to come up.
Sure.
As he does that, can I look in the sewers to find any like hidden paths?
Yeah, you want to go outside
What?
of the the hotel?
Yeah, I'll try to go to the sewers and just, like, look around.
Sure, give me a stealth check. Yeah, I mean, you're able to find a sewer grate where no one's looking. And you're able to pry it up pretty easily. It looks well traveled. You head down there. You can make a perception check. Yeah, you're very confident that you're not the first person to use this sewer today. It seems very well traveled.
The Undercity.
I'll just look for any shortcuts or hidden paths then, I guess.
Sure. You wander for a little bit, kind of just like roaming around or whatever, following the roads above, and you find an alcove that has a gathering of were-rats. There's like maybe 24. And they have like a little shanty town. There's like a couple of tables and they're selling goods. And you see there's like humans and dwarves and elves and stuff down here as well with torches, talking to them and like exchanging money for things.
Can I talk to them in a rat?
Yeah, I mean, like you can like emerge from stealth or whatever.
Yeah. I'll just go talk to them, see, God, I don't know. I'm not the smart one. I'll just shoot the shit and talk with them right now.
Greetings, cousin. Welcome.
Greetings. Hello.
What are you looking for today? We have some fine meats. Oh, they gesture. They have like some nice like cages that have like looks like people's like dogs and cats that they've like abducted. We have some fine delicacies here. Rare dog meat from the upworld.
I'll order like a medium-sized dog.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll prepare it for you if you wish.
Sure.
Rat. You watch them like take like mittens or whatever, spot out of the cage and like censored bar, and then they present you with like some nice cutlets.
I'll eat like half of it and then bring the other half back with me.
Yeah, they'll wrap it up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the sewers down here or whatever, at least like the first level of them, is just more of the city throughout the entire city. Beneath that, in chatting with these guys, they'll tell you that there's like all sorts of horrific dangers and like more powerful cults and stuff like that. And they'll remind you of the fifth promise. Let closed doors remain closed.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you shouldn't go anywhere you don't need to be. And if you're gonna do it, he leads and he's like, you should be as careful as possible and make sure no one sees you. And if anyone sees you, you should silence them. Because secrets will be your downfall. If you can't keep them, they'll be taken from you and used against you. That's why
it's a good thing
we just kind of avoid all that nonsense and just stay to our little area of the sewers here.
This is a nice area.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I don't have anything else. I'll just like slowly work my way back, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good. They'll wrap up the leg for you.
I'll try to make it look as inconspicuous and not dog-like.
Yeah, sure.
It's a large chicken guy.
So, Caerrat, you like order some tea.
A very large chicken.
You like order some tea, Caerrat. Molly will like bring it up on like a nice tray for you, and she'll like set it down on the table in the room. Like, oh, there'll be anything else for you?
Maybe a quick conversation if you don't mind.
Well, I'm not allowed to say much. That's the whole idea behind the City of Masks, but I can tell you what I can.
Oh, of course. This is hopefully more of restitution than anything else. How long without specifics, of course, how long have you been running, the Seven Apples?
Oh, well, she will tell you that, about 10 years she's had this place.
Were there owners before? Oh,
I'm sure there were. It was my third marriage. He was a nice man named Vazreen. we lived in the sewers for about 12 years before he was slaughtered by a band of Thrune agents. Fucking House Thrune. And I spent a couple of years, well, decades really, in a deep depression. Lived on the street for a while. But I had an epiphany. Life isn't eternal. You know what I mean? You gotta do something about it or you're gonna die miserable. So, I scraped together what I had, bought this place about a decade ago, and I'm just working to make it better. You know, I used to... Oh, this was years ago, and before the first and the second and the third husband. But I used to have like a string of properties. Yeah, it's a wild story. A long time ago, the old King of Masks, the old King of Delights, he and I were on great terms. This was about 50 years ago, maybe. So he and I were on really good terms, right? And came to kind of everyone's attention that his daughters were abducted by like this cult. And they were going to like ransom him back or whatever. Anyway, I didn't really have a soft touch back then. So me and some of my friends from the sewers, we snuck into the compound where the daughters were. We just fucking killed everyone. But we rescued the daughters and gave them back to the King of Delights. And as a reward, I was given a bunch of properties here. And man, I had big plans. I was going to have like a string of like 7 apples. There's going to be like the first apple, the second apple, and like all these different hotels.
7 of them, yeah.
And then there was this fucking break-in. And I think it was the same fucking group of these cultists that were pissed off that I foiled their kidnapping. Anyway, they broke in, stole all my deeds. I went to go talk to the king, but he'd been killed by then, replaced by this other guy. Was not a nice guy. He was super racist. Super racist. And you'll be like, against halflings, and she'll be like, against were-rats. Super racist against were-rats. So I didn't get a break. Anyway. Oh, I'm a were-rat. Not... I'm a were-rat halfling. Kind of... This is more appealing for, being above ground. Anyway.
Easier to explain. Lost
those deeds. Had a couple of dud husbands. Third one, though. He was a nice guy. Missed those times down there. Just chasing our own tails. Just living life. It was a good decade. Good decade while it lasted. But anyway, we've got the 7 apples. It's up and running. It's doing pretty well. It's no dancing cat, but it's doing all right. Anyway, sorry, I tend to ramble, but yeah.
Hypothetically, do you know the name Wei Fen?
Her eyes will narrow, and she'll be like, yeah, how do you know the name Wei Fen?
I'm guessing the same way.
She'll, like, look over her shoulder to see if she's being flanked right now.
I hate House Thrune as well.
Oh. I see. How'd you come upon that name? I thought that cult had long since fled Vyre.
It did, and we cleared out their hideout.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll tell you this, Wei Fen certainly is still around. She and I travel in somewhat similar circles, both of us being were-rats after all. But yeah, I know she's involved with the cult. She didn't orchestrate the break-in or anything, though, as far as I know. I would have killed her long ago if I knew that. She's old, though. Not as young and chipper as me. She's, old. So, yeah. I wouldn't worry about her too much. Though, if she does learn what she did, you might have a target on your back, so you should watch out for that.
Yeah.
But hey, any friend of killing those fucking cultists is a friend of mine. Don't worry about the room and board. You guys can stay here for a couple of weeks. And she'll, give you your gold piece back.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
She'll be like, what about your friends? Should I give them a nice room too, or do you want them to stay in the brothel? The hostel down there? So you want to stay in the hostel?
I think one of them actually likes it, and the other one, I feel like we should, but I don't think he'd notice.
All right, hey, they're your friends. She'll kind of shrug and be like, they're your friends, whatever you want.
You're not fucking wrong.
All right, she will happily,
Yeah.
she'll be like, hey, I'll happily tell you what I know about the city. If you're looking for anything specific or anything I can help you with, just let me know.
We are trying to get an invite to the Delight Ball.
Oh, yeah, try and get into Cobweb Manor. That's a hard sell. It would be a pretty big favor for me to work that. I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but it'd take a lot.
Hypothetically, how much work would that be?
She's like, listen, it's something that I could do, but I probably have to like cash in some of these favors that I've spent like decades building. And
that makes
she
sense.
kind of gestures and she's like, this tavern is all that I have now, and I don't really want to lose it. So,
so let's say you had it back fully in your name.
Well, she owns this one full and clear.
Oh,
It's
this
just
one's
the other
full and clear.
6.
Yeah,
The other 6, right?
it's just the other 6.
I think we could come to an agreement.
Yeah, I'm
We could at
sorry.
least get the
It's
second
like
apple.
Garm. It's like unclear. I guess based off of her backstory, this address wouldn't have been in the dossier. You guys just come in here by random chance.
Okay, we got
Because those
lucky. We
dossiers
heard
are like
apples.
40 years old. The adventure assumes that you're just like, Molly Mayapple, knowledge local 25. Oh, she's still alive. We'll just give her her deeds. That's all it says. That's all it says.
Why?
So I'm trying real hard. I'm trying real hard to like
I mean, I'm okay
fucking
with
jury
pushing it
rig
forward.
shit together to get you there. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully it's seamless and you haven't known.
That's good. You should rewrite this book.
It's like be secretive everywhere, except just hand it over.
Yep. Basically she tells you that she's like she'd be worried about like losing like the start of her burgeoning empire. And if you're like, oh, well you could have like 5 other businesses to start up, she'd be like, oh, well of course I'll help you then if you give her old deeds back. She will befriend you, and her relationship with you will change from indifferent to just outright helpful.
Sick. This seems like a good spend.
Yeah, she is gleeful upon seeing the deeds again. She's like, I knew that if I just stayed the course and had a cheerful attitude, things would work out. This is fantastic. I have so many plans. But anyway, you want to get in to meet with the Queen of Delights at Cobweb Manor. Okay, well, there's a few things I gotta tell you. First of all, there is a rumor that the current Queen of Delights is a witch with an uncanny knack for whispering to spiders. So, just kind of keep that in the palm of your hand, the back pocket as you were. The banquet's for tomorrow night at sundown. The manor doors will open about an hour early. You probably should wait until the last moment before arriving, but not late, but you don't want to be eager, you know what I mean? There's like a lot of little nuanced things. I'll try to like point some nuanced things out to you during the evening, but in general, she kind of like looks you up and down. Regardless of how nice your clothes are, and those look very nice, you're going to want something new. Queen of Delights is up on the latest fashion. You know, I can tell you right now, those buckles went out 2 years ago. So, like, new outfit, I would spend no less than 100 gold pieces a pop. If it was me personally and I wanted to dress to impress, I would drop at least a dime and try to look as nice as possible. Aside from that, I'll go 2, so I'll try to point things out as I can. But the Queen of Delights is a shrewd judge of character. She's going to be, appraising all of you and all of her other guests as well. Just try to impress her. Try to stay interesting. Hopefully you don't get kicked out. And if you hang around till like the dessert course, after that there'll be a little time to wine and dine. And maybe you can chat her up and tell her whatever you need to. What are you here for, by the way?
I suppose we're friends now. You know
Best of
how Kintargo is.
Oh, Kintargo. Such a bright jewel, dulled by Thrune's thumb.
Yeah, we're working on that,
Oh, good. I've heard there's been a little bit of rebellion happening back there. I got a friend, Laria. She works down there.
Really?
Well, I mean, she doesn't know me as me, of course. I use pseudonyms whenever I'm talking to people.
Oh, that is fantastic.
But I've helped her, with some of her trade. Her trade is smuggling halfling slaves out of the city. And as a halfling were-rat, you think that Molly might have some, emotions about that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I also worked for her.
Oh, fantastic. Well, this is just great.
Just small world,
How
isn't it?
fortuitous. Man, you think that, like, if you just given me those deeds like an hour and a half ago, we could have just started the actual plot instead of doing all this necessary side quest stuff?
But look how much we've learned about the city of Vyre.
I have always said the journey is more important than the destination. As we have spent literally 2 hours and we have not proceeded any distance through this book. As everything we have done has been completely off the cuff.
We did lose a fight to 4 will-o-wisps.
Now you randomly rolled for that, if I recall correctly.
I believe Caerrat, you were the one that lost that fight. The rest of us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The rest of us didn't start that fight.
Yeah.
But
How can I not?
Mechanically, when you go into the banquet will take place over several rounds, which we'll call courses. During each course, there'll be questions asked. You guys can do some role playing. She can interject and try to help you, though she's not able to do it much. So you guys will be on your own before long. Training wheels off.
Uh-oh.
But yeah.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Yeah, you guys can certainly go shopping. Sezzix, you can return. Oh, Sezzix is okay. We'll just take a minute until everyone's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone's good to go. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Cobra,
Yeah.
you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. So you guys can all group up and Garm can fill you in. Basically, you got an invite to the banquet, buy new clothes, dress nice, and be on your best behavior. That's it. Also, Molly says that she hasn't had too many dealings with this current Queen of Delights, so it may behoove you guys to, while you're out shopping, try and learn more rumors about her, which you guys could all make a diplomacy check to learn more about her while you're out shopping for outfits.
I'll go ask my were-rat friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're shopping, do we still have that 1 hour plus 5 charisma bonus?
No, that'll be gone.
Okay. Just checking.
You guys left
Hang
that
on.
district and explored and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's fine.
Yeah, buddy, how are you talking to people? We'll just start on the right and work our way down.
Well,
And what outfit are you buying?
oh gosh. Well, basically anything's an upgrade at this point. So, I do remember Hemich and Hayes giving me I think some sort of nice shirt, and so basically I'll try to match that, but nicer, maybe a little more frilly. And I think I actually will wear a masquerade mask because I know that my face is a little disfigured. So
Sure. You can head into a mask store. They also have some nice shirts and things like that.
yeah,
There will be a woman there wearing a mask. You notice that her hair is flowing and kind of animated, which looks weird.
Oh,
Make a knowledge local check.
I don't think I have.
You
that
don't
much.
know what type of creature she is, but she is wearing a mask.
Yeah.
She'll approach you. She kind of glides over. She's wearing a nice dress. She, is a rather attractive looking creature. She'll glide over to you and be like, welcome. A mask today? I saw you browsing the racks here.
Oh yes, I need mask. I'm invited to big party.
Oh, how lovely. Well, we want to make sure you're dressed to impress. Tell me, what
Yes,
sort of
yes.
budget were you looking at today?
Ooh, I'll pull out my bag and I'll be like, oh, I got this gold here, and I'll have 100 gold for
But of course.
whatever I need.
We have several masks over here. Tell me about yourself. What animals do you identify with the most?
Animals.
Perhaps a ram. Are you bullheaded? Or a snake? Are you cunning and wise? Or an owl? Do you watch and listen? She has a bunch of different animal masks.
Ooh, does she have a bear mask?
A bear mask, strong and slumbering. She'll hand you the bear mask.
Yeah.
She'll be like, this is only 75 gold pieces, so you would still have 25 to spend. I see you're looking for something to cover the torso area here.
Yeah,
We
maybe
have some
pants
shirts
too.
that we could let out. Oh, some pants, of course. Do you have a color preference?
What's the name of the lady again? I forgot. Mistress or Queen
The
of...
Queen of Delights.
do you know if the Queen of Delights has any favorite shirts?
Ah,
Styles?
trying to impress the Queen of Delights. I will tell you this. That I know. I have heard that the Queen of Delights favors those who wear lace.
Oh, let's do lace then.
Yeah, she will get you like a nice black and white shirt and pants, and the shirt will have like big poofy cuffs and like lace frills and like lace frills around the neck, and then you'll have a bear mask to go with it.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Next on the list, Garm. What is Caerrat in the shopping for?
Teal suit.
Sure, you would like to go to a suit shop. You'll head in there, and there will be all sorts of fine suits. And there'll be a sign that's like purveyor of suits for like the last 150 years or whatever. It'll be like Smithin and Sons. You'll go in there, and there'll just be an elderly orc sitting behind a desk with like a jeweler's loop in his eye, and he's like sewing a thread. And he'll be like, Welcome to Smith and Sons, purveyor of fine suits. What can I help you with today? A suit, I hope. You're not wasting my time.
I would never, in my life, do something so brazen.
But of course, he'll like take the loop out and kind of flex his eye socket a bit. Let me see a good look at you. Come into the light. I'll motion you to come forward, like into the oil lamps.
Oh, full twirl. Full twirl.
Oh, fantastic. I'll see if I can get my father out here to get some measurements. Hey, Dad! Got a customer! You'll see a venerable orc come out, and he'll be like, oh, yes. Let's take a look here. And he'll walk up to you with his hand. He'll just, like, run his hand along your arms and, like, undercarriage, and he'll just be rattling off numbers. He'll be like, 33, 32, 34 at the waist, and he'll run his hand, like, along your inseam, and he'll be like, not too bad, young boy, not too bad. They'll get your measurements, and he'll get the details. You wanted a teal suit?
Teal suit. Here's 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold? Well, this will be a fine suit. It'll take us a few days to finish it.
What if I give 500 more?
Well, you get 1,000 gold piece suit by sundown. How's that?
Perfect.
Get to work. You see, the old man will go over and he'll turn the open sign to closed, and they'll just be working hurriedly on your suit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, the service in this town is
And what did you get for your diplomacy check?
25.
A 25. As you are chatting, the son who's like getting the fabric out of the back or whatever, the son will be like, so what do you need the suit for? Anyway, if you don't mind telling. Your secrets are your own.
The Queen of Delights Gala.
I've heard that if you're going to go see the Queen, well, you better bring something to give her. And I know she's got a bit of a soft spot for salacious works of art.
Is that so?
Yep. Moving down the list, Cobra. What's Tommy getting?
Some robes to go over my full plate. So that I can try to conceal the full plate with, like, Jedi Knight robes, kind of, the big baggy robe. So that I also look presentable while also being fully armored.
Yeah. You could get, like, a robe that would go underneath it and look alright, as well as, like, some polish. And you could look like, let me show you.
Oh, like a knight shining armor.
There is a gentleman who's very well dressed here. You could look like this guy if you did that. So you could like look fancy, but still be functional.
Yep, that's kind of exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, so like you can get your armor dyed, and you can get some nice tunic to go underneath it.
Yeah, I'll do blue and white.
Sure. You head to a couple of dwarves that are working some sort of smithy. And you see that they advertise the ability to like turn your armor into anything else.
I would like to buy some robes to go under my armor, and I'd like to change the color and also put a cloak over.
Yeah, so you come up and like they're in the middle of like clanging against some metal, and one of them will like stop what he's doing and kind of clear the wax out of his ears and be like, "Welcome, stranger. What can I do for you?"
Hi, yes, I would like to dye my full plate here in the color of blue.
Oh, easy enough. What else?
And I would like some customary robes to go under it, and I would like some white robes, please.
Yes, some robes. Well, across the way is the robing store. You can speak with Jeremiah over there. He'll get you all squared away with the robes. As far as the dyeing cost, it'll only be 50 gold pieces. I'm happy to do it for you.
Could you also dye my cloak that I have here?
We sure could. Be another 50 gold.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you so much.
They will change it to whatever color you would like. The guy will pull out like a color wheel and ask you to specifically pick the color you'd like.
Royal blue for the chest piece, and wedding dress white for the robes and the cloak.
Sure. Once you have it, he'll like kind of fill out an order form. He'll give you the receipt, and he'll walk the other one back. You see there's like an apprentice, and he'll like hand it to the apprentice, and he'll like point at you and like point at the armor as you're like taking it off or whatever. And as you start taking it off, the assistant will come out and he'll be like, "Yo, just set it up on the mannequin there. I'll handle it." And he'll walk over to like a locked case on the wall, and he'll pull out a key. He'll unlock it, and he'll retrieve a rod that seems to be about a foot long and is very slender and has all sorts of engraving on it. It seems incredibly expensive. And he'll pick the rod up and he'll walk over to your armor once it's all set up on there. And he'll look at the color wheel. And he'll be like, okay. You may wish to step back. And he like motions for you to like step to the side.
Okay, I'll take a step back.
Yeah, you see this guy points the rod at it and kind of like says a magic word, and a stream of butterflies flies out of it and just kind of batters against the armor harmlessly and dispels. And he's like, "Oh, that wasn't it." And he'll kind of be like, come on. And he'll do it again. And the next time he does it, you'll see a fireball discharge. And as it does, it'll just get like vacuumed up through a chute in the ceiling. And like, as it's like going off, like this fucking hellfire is just getting sucked away. And he's like, "Might take a while. You can sit down and grab a magazine," as he just kind of cycles through like 15 different options on a Rod of Wonder before getting the one that changes the color of something. And then he'll change the color to the color you wanted.
Nice.
You see, like, as this is happening, the apprentice, like, gets struck by lightning. He, like, gets reduced in size categories, and he, like, gets covered in fur. And then he'll, like, change your armor to the right color, and he'll go put the rod back and lock it up, and he'll be like, "I fucking hate this job. I can't wait till I'm no longer an apprentice." And he'll, like, walk back to what he was doing.
Waddle, you mean?
Yeah, he's just, like, dragging his clothes behind him as he's, like, a fucking toddler now. Yeah, you can go across the street, and you can purchase robes. While you're over there, give me a diplomacy check. Since I don't think you did.
I did not yet.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep, this is a very, not a chit-chat kind of place, and you're able to purchase the robes you need. You don't learn, though, of anything additional that the queen might be receptive to as a gift. Sezzix, what do you want to buy?
I'll go down into the sewers and ask,
Sure.
sort of like, I'll ask the were-rats if they know of any, like, rat tailors.
Oh, they will all chuckle as you see they're wearing, like, bits of found clothing.
Respectable. I will then go upstairs and try to find Caerrat, because he probably knows best.
Yeah, you see, you don't find Caerrat. He told you he was going to, like, get a suit made. You find a suit shop, but it seems closed.
Can I find, like, a children's store?
Sure.
I just find, like, a mini suit?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there is certainly...
That's fantastic.
There's certainly a halfling store if you'd like.
That works, too.
Yeah. You head in there, and there will be a halfling gentleman, and as you come in, he'll be like, "Hello, sir. What would you like today? Anything I can help you find?"
Something not too expensive, but the Queen of... Sorry, what Queen is she?
Queen of Delights.
Queen of
Delights.
But the Queen of Delights might like to see.
Oh, yes. What sort of budget are you looking to spend this afternoon?
I have a couple hundred gold that could be spent.
But of course, 200 gold pieces. You can spend however much you'd want, and he'll find something that's appropriate. For 200 gold, he suggests a lovely 3-piece suit with a double-breasted, over jacket. So it's like a nice 3-piece suit, and then it also comes with like a nice pea coat. He says it's the latest fashion. He assures you that, it's only been on the shelf for a couple of days, and he will tell you that the Queen of Delights likes the newer fashions more than anything. You got an 18 on your diplomacy check. Sadly, you don't learn of anything beyond the salacious works of art and the lace that your companions have already learned as things that she likes. But yeah, you can get the jacket without too much trouble. It's actually ingenious. You've had a problem wearing like people clothes before because of your tail, but this is designed in such a way that your tail can freely be out at all times, and then the pea coat goes over it to conceal it for when it would be inappropriate to just like have your tail wandering around. So it's actually like very well done. And he's like, oh yes, we have numerous were-rats that come in here from time to time. Well, I wish you luck. I will say this if nothing else. Just be respectful in the presence of the Queen of Delights. She is a hard woman to read. Enjoy your time.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys can all reconvene. You've learned of 2 presents that she likes. Fancy lace gifts and salacious works of art.
So we're going to buy her panties and a picture?
What would you like to buy?
Or a picture of panties.
That's not a bad idea. Find some artist, make a rendition of like some tieflings or something in lace or something.
Oh, also, Molly would tell you things that she knows the Queen likes. Those are like more uncommon things that less people know. She tells you that the Queen is fond of spiders, onyx jewelry, and fine mead.
Ooh, I can get behind fine mead.
So this is what we do. We bring a picture of, like, a drinking picture, like a really nice crafted mead bottle from a respected meadery, and then
Why don't we have Buddy deal with the mead problem?
I can get mead.
Buddy, why don't you get her a bit drunk?
and then it's a picture, but the wrapping is in a lace like covering for it. So we wrap it in
a lace beer koozie. That is hilarious. That I think that also includes a salacious gift, as it's fucking funny and kind of weird.
She likes salacious works of art, hence the painting.
I'm kind of about the lace beer cozy though. That sounds
I'm
okay.
kind of down.
So Garm wants to get a lace beer cozy. You want to get the beer Austin. Cobra, what do you want to get?
A picture wrapped in lace of panties.
A salacious. So you're looking for a salacious picture, and then what
Yes.
are you gonna get, Seish?
Well, Cobra just stole mine.
I said it first.
You said panties. I said picture of panties.
There are also spiders. There's also spiders
You
or
could get, like,
onyx jewelry.
Okay,
get,
fine.
like, you could get, like,
painting of a spider.
Ooh.
No, I'll just get like.
Okay.
That's
And
not
Seish-
salacious.
Seish, I got an idea. You get an onyx brooch that's in the shape of a spider.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
There you go.
Sure.
That'd be pretty nice.
We'll start with Seish this time, since we started with Austin last time. So you now find yourself like in the Commerce District looking at jewelry. You see a fine onyx spider. It looks to be well outside your price range.
I will still ask how much it is.
This is but a mere trinket. With a magical word, it transforms into an actual spider. He'll speak a word and you'll see it will animate. He'll be like, it has some uses. It kind of like crawls all around him. Though it is of most interest to, I believe, Alkenstar gunmasters. Those that have firearms. I'm unsure if you're familiar with them. But this little thing can crawl down the barrel of a gun and clear any sort of problems that it has without taking an action.
Well, fuck. Now I just want that for me.
I believe they are 10,000 gold, and they're called onyx spiders. It's very funny that you wanted to look at spiders.
Ah, shit, I bought it for me, guys.
But it's something to know, at least, for when you get a little more money.
I'm actually very close to that, too.
I have 10K.
I mean, you can look it up. It's just off the top of my head what I think it is called and how much it costs and what it does. But there is also all sorts of like jewelry and stuff like that, and you can find a table that has a friendly-looking elven woman there, and it's selling all sorts of onyx jewelry, and it says it's handmade. And you see she has like a bunch of little spiders, a bunch of little like tortoises, a bunch of different little animals made out of onyx.
Yeah, sorry. She has little, like, handmade onyx-type spiders.
Yeah. How much would you like to spend on it?
I've got another about 100.
Yeah, you can see that she has some that are, like, in the cheaper range, and then a few more expensive ones, and then the most expensive one she has is 100 gold. And it looks to be very nice. It's, like, carved out of a single piece of onyx. And it's actually like a ring.
Yeah, so it's just like a little onyx ring with a...
It's like the spider is like sitting on her knuckle when you're wearing it is kind of what it looks like. It's like very finely done. Very like high quality artisanal work. And as you're like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that ring, she'll be like, oh yes, of course. It took me some time, but I was able to chisel this out. She'll take it and like bundle it up for you. It'll be 100 gold pieces.
It is very well made. I'll throw in one extra.
Oh, thank you so much. And for your charity, a secret of secrets. She'll lean forward and be like, rumor has it that the Queen of Delights worships Norgabur. And that'll be all she says. Cobra, what are you looking for? The painting?
Yes.
Yeah, you can head down to like the artistry district. There's also people that are like painting buildings or like the seascape or other like caricatures, kind of just like walking through Paris, how there'd be like little artists set up painting stuff because it's like a beautiful city. That is happening here as well. So you could approach either like actual galleries or like people on the street.
People on the let's find a street painting.
Sure. You come upon a gentleman who is there, and he seems to be painting like people as they walk by. And right now there's like a couple sitting in front of him on like their honeymoon or something, and he's painting them. And as you look over, like, he seems to be a pretty good painter. Both the woman and the man are rather attractive, and he is doing a good job of capturing that. It looks kind of like a trashy romance cover of a novel.
Yeah, I'll inquire how much I can pay for the painting.
Be like, I never paint the same thing more than once, and all the paintings I make are for the people I paint. So, if you'd like, I can paint you. I'll be done with this couple here in just a few minutes. Though I often only do couples. Do you have someone you'd like to get a painting with?
Yes. Can I come back to you in a little bit? I would like to have a painting done of me and my husband.
Oh, but of course. And how much are you looking to spend? Again, you can spend any amount of money, and it'll be that much nicer.
I'll spend 200 gold.
He'll be like, I'll go ahead and block out the rest of my afternoon then, and why don't we find someplace more appropriate? He'll give you an address where there's like a garden that he'd like you and the other subject to come to. And he'll bring props.
Okay.
Cool. Caerrat, what are you getting?
I'm getting a lace beer koozie.
Sure. You can head to like a seamstress shop, and they have all sorts of like fine lace products. There'll be an older woman there, and she'll be like, I love it when young men express an interest in the finer things. Now,
Yes,
what are you here for? Some nice lace doilies? A tapestry, perhaps? A tea koozie?
You see, it's close to a tea koozie. Very close. Except it's a bottle of mead. I'll describe the vague bottle of mead shape that Buddy's getting.
I see.
I would like a beer koozie, but made out of lace for this bottle of mead.
Oh, so like the tea koozie, but a little narrower, more like a cylinder. Yeah, I can do that.
Yes. Fantastic.
Sure, but of course. How much would you like to spend?
Oh, that seems like a 150 gold piece gift.
Very well. I'll go ahead and get right to it then. She'll have it done for you before the evening. And I imagine at this point, like, Tommy will find you on the street and be like, hey, we gotta go get painted.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds incredible. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
However, anything about other people that may be very interested in lace, man?
You already made your diplomacy check, right?
Very well. Right, yeah.
So you can head with Tommy to, basically it's like between a couple of buildings, there's this little narrow alleyway, and on the other side there's this spot where like sunlight hits it, and there's inexplicably a fruit tree. And it seems to have lemons on it. And it's like this beam of light hitting this beautiful lemon tree. And it looks like someone has set up like a small fountain there, and there's like a little koi pond. And you see there's a painter there set up with an easel, and there's a couple of like comfortable like chairs, and like a fainting couch has been set up. And you just be like, just place yourselves comfortably and naturally and lose the clothes. I'm sorry, wasn't this guy like Australian? Oh, just go ahead and take your clothes off then, and why don't you go ahead and sprawl out there, however you want, intertwined, unintertwined, however you're comfortable. Take a couple hours, do a real good job. Don't worry about the muscles or anything. He'll say to you, Caerrat, as you're like not as in good shape as Tommy. Like, don't worry about that, I'll make it look real nice. You, though, he'll look at you, Tommy, and be like, you're already a work of art, I'll do nothing with you.
This is the greatest gift you could have ever given me. Thank you.
Sure. You guys will spend a couple of hours intimate, and he will paint a scene from it. And he will also add, like, all sorts of, like, fae-like creatures. He'll ask you, as you guys are there for many hours, he'll ask you, like, the deities you worship, so he'll put, like, iconography of, like, both of your deities in there, like, in the background. It'll be, like, a little nod to your god or that god. The fruit tree will change from being, like, a lemon tree to being, like, what other sort of fruit would be more appropriate, like a pear tree or whatever's significant for that deity. And it's a beautiful experience. And you will pay him 200 gold pieces. Finally, Buddy, you're going to head down to the liquor and food district, try to find some mead.
Yeah. Is there like a...
There's a bunch of breweries.
Brewery?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You go into one brewery. You're looking for mead specifically, and you see one called the Wasp's Sting.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, you head in there. There are a bunch of elves. They all seem to be just dressed in lingerie. Men, women, they're just wearing like Speedos or the female equivalent of a Speedo. And they are walking around serving drinks to people. And you see they have like large canisters in the back, like brewery making equipment, stills and things like that.
Yeah.
And, the hostess will say to you, like, welcome to the Wasp's Sting. Would you like a table at the bar? What can I help you with? Just one today?
Yeah, I'm just looking for a present. I need your finest mead.
Oh, yes, of course. She'll lead you back to the bar, and she'll be like, Jessup, we got one here just wants to buy some tankards to go. Have fun. And she'll walk off. The woman behind the bar will come up and be like, oh, so you just need some drinks to go then? Yeah, how much would you like to spend on your mead? She'll tell you they have various different vintages.
Any, like, reserve meads, like, real fancy stuff?
Oh, yeah. They've got some fancier stuff.
Yeah, how much are those?
However much you'd like to spend.
Alright, 200 gold.
200 gold will get you a really nice bottle. It'll get you probably, like, she'll be like, this is a reserve batch that we only made 3 bottles from, and they're like 100 each, but 200 gold will get you all 3.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. She'll hand it to you. It has, like, a wax seal closing it in over the top, and it has the symbol of, like, a dagger and a whip going around a bee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very festive looking for...
Yeah, and it, like, has their label on it and stuff like that. You pay her the 200 gold. While you're there, buddy, I don't know if you're interested in prostitutes, but there will be prostitutes available if you are.
No, I'm good.
Okay. They respectful of your decision, but they certainly ask.
My mentality is always look but don't touch.
Oh, as you say, if you say that to like the man or the woman that comes up to you, they'll be like, "That is also an option."
No, but
yeah, you'll see people like come in and like
Ella
have
is
drinks.
good. He'll stutter.
This is like a tapas and drinks place, and then there's also like a second story where you see like the people in lingerie periodically are like taking guests upstairs for lengths of time, and like you can put two and two together pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can all meet back up and like change into your appropriate clothes. You can see Molly is wearing what she's wearing in that picture now. She's wearing like more finery. She's got like nice green studded armor that you didn't see her in before and stuff like that. And it has maybe like a nice like violet sash going across her waist, and she'll be like, you all look fantastic. You did so well. Well, are we ready for this then? Nice, you got some gifts. Perfect.
Yes.
Excited as always.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You guys can head to the banquet. What's up?
How many of the doilies did you make? Or not doilies,
Koozies?
What are they called? Koozies, yeah.
You probably got like whatever you got for bottles. You got like
it'd be equivalent for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very good. Well. You guys can head to the banquet. You guys, as you arrive, you can see that there is a handful of people kind of in queue before you going in, and you can see you can make sense motive checks as they're being like let in, and how the other guests are looking at them and things like that based off of how they're dressed.
But he's always curious.
Just not smart.
But just comes to the wrong conclusions.
Sezzix, you're the only one that notices as you guys walk up that the person in front of you seems to be like some sort of person of military standing, and they're wearing armor kind of similar to Cobra's. Maybe not full plate, maybe just like a medium armor, but it's like very resplendent. And you overhear, and you can see like a couple of other guests snidely being like, well, that's a faux pas. Yeah, you're not supposed to wear armor to these things.
Well,
I'll like double back to where Tommy is and be like, other people don't like that guy because he's got armor. You sure that's what you want to wear?
my armor is who I am.
I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah. No worries. As you guys pass through, you're with Molly, so you guys can get in. She, speaks to the guards and kind of shows them a piece of paper that you presume is the invitation, and you're all let in. Inside here, you see, as you arrive at Cobweb Manor, a lumbering 7-foot-tall... Oh, God. I forgot about that. So you guys go in. The butler there will offer to take, like, any excess stuff you have. You notice that people have weapons like rapiers or short swords or daggers. Someone, like, has a bow. There's about 9 other guests, including yourselves. We'll get into what they look like in a bit. But you're in kind of this, like, foyer area, and then you are led into the main room. There is a 7-foot-tall figure with pale skin and terrible scars attending the door. He is dressed in a fine suit, and he does not speak. He merely nods upon seeing the invitations and steps aside to allow entry. You guys can make Knowledge Arcana checks as this lurch-like individual kind of presides over the entry into this place. Does anyone have Knowledge Arcana? Just Seer it?
Probably just Seer it.
Dope. You have no idea what this creature is. It's a weird-looking dude. Inside, despite being called Cobweb Manor, this place is quite clean. It is well decorated within, covered with spider and spiderweb motifs. The ceilings are draped with sheets of cobwebs and hold numerous chandeliers lit with continual flame, while the wood-paneled walls are decorated with many erotic paintings of subjects quite varied and scandalous in nature. Little is left to the imagination in these works of art, though in several the same dark-haired, crimson-eyed, horned beauty seems to be placed in a position of prominence. Eventually, after getting to meet these individuals, and of course, who are these individuals? There are 9 other guests. I will write them down so I remember too. You see a female human named Anka. There is a male human named Asmeru. There is a female halfling named Etu. I'm just writing this down for you guys too. There is Sutsia, who is an elderly Tian woman. There is Kenka, and I mean, these are all names that they're giving you, so, you know, take them with a grain of salt. There is Morvia, a female human. There is Sefuri, male human. Strephian, male half-elf. And Zasik, elderly male human. So, I'm going to pop that right into here for you. Those are all those individuals. Getting more into it, starting from the top, you see how Anka is dressed. She is dressed in light-fitting clothes, and she seems quite muscular. She is a bit younger, probably on like the younger side of all the guests here. The next one, Asmaro, he is Chelish. He seems to be he's the one wearing the breastplate, so it seems like he's maybe not so good at this. But he seems to be like, you know, a standard Thrune supporter. There is Etu is this female halfling. She is dressed very familiarly. Go ahead and make a perception check, all of you guys, as you look at her. Yeah, buddy. She looks exactly like that male halfling that killed that Grodius worshipper earlier. Like, they're wearing the exact same clothes, the knife's in the exact same spot.
Oh. What was his name? Taric or something we called him?
You were calling him Taric, yeah.
Yeah, Taric.
The fourth woman, Sutsia, she seems to be an elderly Tian woman with a mole on her chin. She's basically of Asian descent. Yeah. She seems to be some sort of retired diplomat and is just kind of there, like, sipping tea off to the side. Kenza is a female gnome. She is very salaciously dressed. Her clothes are very revealing. Buddy, you are easily the biggest person here, and she will immediately come up to you and begin flirting with you as soon as you guys lock eyes.
Oh, excellent.
Morvia is a female Chelish woman. She is dressed like the madam of a brothel, as she is the madam of a brothel. Sefuru is a overweight gentleman who is wearing like a nice suit, and he'd be like the guy who would like get the meat sweats from walking a few feet and would like sit and fan himself. You overhear he seems to be put out by the fact that he wasn't allowed to bring servants here, as he doesn't like having to carry his own fan to like fan himself with. Stefrian is male half-elf. He seems to be like older, maybe like, you know, 50s or 60s human age equivalent looks wise, and he is drunk. He's just outright drunk. And Zasik, last of all, is a very curious individual who probably has some form of, you know, mental hiccups going on, as whenever he talks to people, he talks about himself in the third person, as you overhear his conversations, where he's like, oh, Zasik would like that. Yes. Oh, Zasik could do that. Of course Zasik could. But yeah, those are the 9 individuals. So you have a couple of moments to like chat with them if you'd like to talk to anyone in particular. Each one of you could talk to someone else. You could talk to the same one if you wanted. Those are just the other people that are here.
Well, it seems like Genka's already come up to me and started talking to me, it sounds like.
Yes. She'll come up to you and she'll be like, "Oh, you're a big one. They grown big back there, don't they? I wonder how big all of you is." And she'll like run her hands up your pant leg on the inseam.
Oh. But he's like, oh, I'm ticklish there.
I bet you are. Tell me, how did you get so big? What are you? What are you, an orc? I can't really tell under that mask.
Oh. I am an ogre. Yeah.
Oh, I've never had an ogre before. She'll like squeeze your bottom bits. You know, she like reaches up and like grabs your butt and like squeezes it. She's definitely invading your personal space.
Also ticklish spot.
Yeah, you guys see your companion flirting with this gnome who's very sexually forward. Anyway,
I don't skip leg day.
Tommy, who do you want to talk to, if anyone?
I'm not good at parties, so I'm just gonna like let people come up to me and try to talk to me. If not, I'm gonna be awkwardly kind of like standing there with a drink in my hand.
Yeah, there seems to be a wet bar, kind of like a serve yourself area that Sephrion's at, the half elf.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to Sephrien while I'm like making a drink, just trying to avoid people.
Yeah, you go over there. He's like, what are you making?
Just water for me.
You ever had a leper's tip?
No, what's a leper's tip?
He'll like shove you out of the way and begin making you a drink as he talks to you drunkenly. He'll be like, yeah, I ever been to the Blue Monkey? It's a gambling hall. I own that place. It's the only way I don't lose. Because if I ever do gamble, I lose all the time. I'm really bad at gambling. Anyway, and he'll like mix you up a drink. You notice he like reaches into like a pocket and he pulls out like some undefined mystery meat and he throws it in there and then he like muddles it. And then he like starts adding the alcohol to it. And he's like, this is the leper's tip. The secret is you gotta have a little bit of undead flesh in there. It adds a bit of a zing to it. He'll like take a sip of it and be like, whoa, right through you. And he'll pass it over.
I'll take the drink, but I'll just look at it and not drink it and casually walk over to Caerrat and be like, I don't know if I should drink this. Do you want to take it? It's got undead flesh in it.
Caerrat, who are you talking to at this moment?
I left and went and talked to Caerrat. Like, I just interrupted his conversation.
Yeah, I want to know who Caerrat was talking to.
I was definitely talking to the assassin.
Yeah, so you see this female assassin, whose name is Elitu.
Elitu.
And as you come up to Elitu, she'll be like, Taric, it's been so long.
Oh, a pleasure as always. Oh, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing well. I go by Atiru now.
I am still Taric.
Oh, but of course, a pleasure, Taric, a pleasure. Well, things are going well. As your companion comes up with this drink.
Huh.
Well, I'll leave you two lovers to figure this out, and she'll wander off.
Sure, I'll pull the piece of flesh out of the...
it's like been muddled in there. It's like part of the drink.
Oh.
Yeah. The drink has taken on kind of a brine color as a result.
I at least wouldn't drink it. I'd put it down. I would just let it go. That's my suggestion.
Sure. While they're dealing with that, while they're grappling with that, Sezzix, who would you like to talk to, if anyone?
I will find the tallest person of the 9 strangers.
The tallest person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll a d8. One, 2. The gentleman who is wearing armor seems to be the tallest person.
What was his name?
Aasimar. He's the second name there. He's the one really that like... Yeah.
He's the one that's the Thrune supporter, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be a Thrune supporter. But he's just an aristocrat.
I will walk up to him and say, how is the weather up there?
He'll look down and he'll be like, I didn't know they were allowing servants into here. I'll take a brandy, and you can find some place to put my cigar out. Well, what are you still standing there for?
I'm not a servant.
He'll just walk away from you.
I will follow him.
He'll go over and strike up a conversation with someone else. He'll be talking to Mariva, who's the Chelish madam, and as you're there, maybe interjecting or whatever, he'll be like, "Excuse me, the adults are talking."
I will continue to just stand there.
She'll chuckle. She'll chuckle and she'll be like, "Oh, Asmaru, be nice to our guests. Be nice to the other guests. We're all here together for the same purpose, to just have a good evening." She'll bend down and she'll be like, "Hello, charming creature. What's your name?"
My name's Sezzix.
Sezzix, a pleasure. She'll extend her hand as a lady would for you to take and kiss if you would like.
I'll sniff it and then kiss it.
I'm Mariva Crispin. I own the Night Tea Room. If you're ever in need of our services or our little companionship late at night, you could certainly come by. Be more than happy to accommodate you. Or any of your friends. He'll scoff and be like, "Ugh, it's disgusting that you let creatures like that in there. Should lump them all in with halflings."
I don't fornicate with others currently. And I'll hold my necklace.
Her eyes will glance over and she'll be like, "Oh, I see. Lost in love. Aren't we all at some point?"
Something like that.
Aren't we all? At this point, the large, lurch-like individual will walk over and open the doors to the banquet hall. And you guys will be invited in. The banquet hall is a large hall, the focus of which is a sprawling table, capable of seating 24 guests comfortably. The head of the table is reserved for a setting for the queen herself, while the last setting at the far end of the table, so you see it left to right, and to the left is the empty spot where you imagine the queen is going to sit. There's all these other empty chairs, and then there is someone already sitting on the right. There is a slumped and dusty skeleton, clad in fine clothing, at least a decade out of date. As people start heading in, they're just talking about where they'd like to sit. No one seems to mention the skeleton sitting at the table. What would you guys like to do? Where would you like to sit? Would you like to sit in the middle on a side? Would you like to sit closer to her? Would you like to sit closer to the skeleton?
Sit closer to her.
Sure. You can find 2 seats together over there, if 2 of you would like to sit closer to her.
I'll probably sit near the skeleton. That's just interesting.
Sure.
The skeleton kind of sounds cool, you know?
You're not going to sit with Cobra?
Yeah, I have to sit with the boy. Fine. Come on.
Sezzix, where would you like to sit?
I'll just sit near my party.
Okay, you kind of sit in the middle between them. So it's we've got Caerrat and Tommy going down a side, and then Sezzix, and then further down the side will be Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You all just be on the same side to make it easy. Sure. As you guys are seated, Molly will sit by you, Sezzix, so she's kind of equidistant from everyone. As small talk begins, as small talk begins, it ends rather abruptly as the door at the far end opens, and the Queen of Delights, Mantis Caletti, enters the room as you see everyone else stand up and begin applauding, as does Molly Mayapple.
Yeah, we join.
Yeah, I would join.
Would everyone like to stand up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tommy?
Yep.
Okay. You guys all stand up and applaud. As you do so, you see this woman. She is a looker.
Awooga.
Yes. She's a beautiful tiefling woman, clad in a long, flowing gown with black spiderweb lace and elegant gloves. Her dark hair is held back in a net of cobwebs, revealing her pointed ears, little red horns, and the spiderweb tattoos on both sides of her neck. Her eyes are in a natural crimson, and she moves with an unnerving grace, all manifestations of her tiefling heritage. You easily identify that the salacious paintings from earlier that had that tiefling person in a position of prominence were all her. She smiles, and she kind of waves at everyone. Greetings, greetings, new friends and old, to my home. I see some familiar faces here, and some, well, delightfully unfamiliar ones as well. It is always a pleasure to serve new tongues, the delectable offerings of House Kelly, and I trust you shall remember the meal to come for the rest of your lives. Tonight's banquet is brought to us by Master Chef Anatolis Tastus, all the way from Katapesh, and consists of 4 expertly prepared courses. I expect the conversation to be lively and thought-provoking, and as always, I shall accept your gifts during the serving of dessert. Without further ado, let us begin. What time is it? We can do 1 course so you guys kind of see what it's like.
Sure.
All of the courses are presented by a small army of servants, clad in diaphanous white robes and wearing wraps of gauzy veils over their faces to hide their identities. The servants can see through the gauze, but their features of the faces are hidden per the Queen of Delight's preference that help should be faceless and voiceless. The first course consists of quick soup, a strange and unusual delicacy first pioneered in the Iobarian city of Orlov. For this course, you see each guest is given a tureen of heady, boiling hot soup, sitting atop a nest of 5 short candles, a smaller bowl in which 5 live minnows and a set of utensils that include a 2-tined fork, a sharp, slender knife, and a spoon-like sieve are presented. You guys don't know how to properly eat this soup. However, you guys can watch Molly eat her soup on this first course. Or sorry, let me back up. There's going to be opportunities for conversation and opportunities for etiquette. The etiquette comes in during the eating. You can either wait until other people have started and then mimic what they do and have a pretty easy check to get 1 banquet point, or you can try to wing it and figure out what to do on your own for a higher reward of banquet points. But if you do it wrong, it would be a faux pas and you would lose points. So you can either kind of wait and see what everyone else does, or do it yourself.
I'm disgusting slob. I'm waiting.
Who's next to me?
A dead guy.
On the other
see that
side.
the food is brought out and placed to him as well. Roll a d8.
Okay.
A d10, I guess. There's that many people.
I assumed it was Kenko, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, so here it is. At the beginning of each course, ask each PC if they want to immediately begin or if they want to wait other people. You can make a knowledge, local, or geography or profession cook check to know the proper way to eat the meal. A 1, you say. Anka is sitting next to you. She is the lean Varisian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Who's like wearing the light clothes and seems like rather fit and in good shape.
The 3 options were what again?
So you can make a knowledge, local, knowledge, geography, or profession cook every time a new course is brought out.
I'll turn to Anka and I'll be like, ladies first.
Sure, you would like to wait.
Yeah.
I'll also be waiting.
Does anyone have knowledge local?
No.
No.
I do, but I don't think Sezzix would actually try.
I mean, just make the check to see if you know how to eat it correctly.
Fair enough.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, so I can read it to you. Each course requires specific proper etiquette to consume. At the beginning of each course, you can either wait or watch other guests and learn the proper etiquette. If you succeed a DC 25 check, you know the proper way to eat the meal. So, you didn't know it, that's okay. But once the proper way of eating the course is known, either by having someone make the check or watching someone else eat it first. Further checks are actually required to consume the course. So, you think you know how to eat this course. You believe that you need to dump the minnows from the bowl into the boiling water, and then as they're boiling and dying, pluck them out and then eat them one by one. And you see other people begin like moving their utensils and grabbing the bowl and stuff like that. So you can do that. However, you weren't quite right. You aren't supposed to dump them out. You're supposed to move the bowl next to you, and then you're supposed to fish the minnows out of there with a sleight of hand check, and then dump them into the boiling water, and then fish them out of there, and then eat them. So, you sadly are not super good on your etiquette here, but not terrible. Hold on, I'm just typing this all down. Course 1. Okay, now, to actually eat the course. Now that you watch other people do it. The proper way to eat this meal is to scoop a fish out of the bowl, drop it into the boiling soup, spear it with the fork, and then cut the flesh of the freshly poached minnow away with the knife. Once all the fish have been consumed, the candles are extinguished, and the soup is allowed to cool, and then the regular soup spoon is used to sip the broth and eat the vegetables in the soup. In order to properly eat quick soup, the minnows must be transported and filleted properly. You can make a sleight of hand or a dexterity check.
Is that something all of us do?
Yep, each person that would like to eat this food. Do you think it would be very poor etiquette not to try to eat all of the courses?
You said a sleight of hand?
Or dexterity. Sezzix, you had a little stumbling at the start, but you know how to do it correctly.
I just missed a step.
Okay. The DC is 12. On a success, one fish is eaten correctly. For every 4 by which the check is surpassed, you eat an extra fish. Sezzix, you eat all 5 of yours correctly.
I have no idea how to do this. This is incredible.
2 of you fail, and Tommy, we need a dex check from you.
Okay.
Unless you'd like to not eat it.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Sezzix, you're the only one that manages to do this correctly. And no one else is successful. By failing, they either, cut too deep and taint the soup with fish entrails. They, drop one of them on the ground, maybe. They, knock over their candles, have to put it out and shit like that. It does not go well.
Uh-oh.
However, you do fantastic, Sezzix. So, that's good. As this is happening, the Queen of Delights comments to herself on how Chelliax seems to be having trouble keeping itself together. And she says, well, if a ragtag group of rebels can cause this much mayhem, can one honestly consider House Thrune to have ever been in control of this nation in the first place? Of the dinner guests, you see Aasimar, the guy you were talking to, Sezzix, the racist, become very worked up and begins ferociously defending Chelliax and sputtering so much that he completely bungles his meal. And he's, dropping his fish. He's making so much of a scene that people don't even notice, necessarily. The rest of you are being unsuccessful. But yes, there is a conversation occurring. You guys are welcome to join in on this conversation about how Chelliax is failing to maintain control over its nation. You'd speak using any sort of skill check that would be bluff, diplomacy, or intimidate, whatever you think would be most appropriate. Yeah. If you are successful at a DC 20 check, you will earn the party a banquet point. If you fail substantially, you'll lose the party a banquet point. Would anyone like to join in this conversation and say anything?
What were the checks?
Bluff, diplomacy, or intimidate.
Nope.
Well,
Seems like the adults are talking.
I can intimidate, but I think my
please,
boyfriend will be mad.
I mean, you could intimidate the guy.
Oh yeah, you can talk shit to the village dude.
Yeah, you use whatever skill you would like, and then tell me what you're doing. So Tommy,
I'm gonna intimidate that dude.
Yeah. So that guy's like, I mean, surely, even if you had a rat cage and you were trying to collect as many rats as possible, there'll always be rats that are biting at the locks and trying to get out. Surely that's all that's happening with Kintargo and this glorious reclamation. These are merely just the growing pains of a great nation under the leadership of House Thrune. What do you say, Tommy?
Shit. Yo. What the fuck you doing, boy? And I'll, like, bully him for his lunch money. I'm trying to get gold out of him. Bullying this dude.
What?
What's your plan here, bud?
I'm just bullying him, trying to get information from him, like, you know, taking his lunch money. Like, I just want him to tell me shit. Not anything in particular. Like, he could
like
get
metaphorically
scared and...
trying to take his lunch money?
Yeah, like, he could sit there, like, when
You're at dinner, champ.
Yeah, it's awkward. Everyone's staring.
Yes. It does not seem successful.
Okay.
I'll help intimidate as well. And
you can make your own check, or you can be quiet.
I did make my own check. It was
very good. You break the awkward silence. What do you say? It is not successful. Whatever you do with your 10.
Yeah. I'll point out that Thrune seems to be slipping the grasp. It sounds like you are too, as you drink more, but in like a buddy tone. So like less.
You're like. I mean, they can't hold on real good, just like you can't hold real good your liquor.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of looks at you, and and Stefrian, the obviously drunk half-elf, will be like, "What's wrong with being drunk?" And everyone will chuckle. It seems as if you did not get a banquet point from that. Caerrat, you wanted to make a diplomacy check?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like your companions, like, one of them was very intimidating, but was just, like, very off-topic, and it was weird, and no one really knew what to take of it. What would you like to say?
I'm not sure if I'm losing my lunch money or losing my liquor license for being here, but regardless, I do think the upstarts in Kintargo at least have a point to what they're doing. They at least seem to be justifying their own existence.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it's enough to kind of steer the conversation back on track, and you're also able to, like, make Tommy's kind of, like, indecisive phrase kind of, like, work in your favor, so you can get a point for that, too. So, but before you're able to really dive into this subject anymore, the Queen of Delights will be like, let's table this for another let's table this for another dinner. The second course is here. And with that, it's 3 o'clock. We can just be done. We'll hop into the second course the next time. I'm keeping track of all your banquet points, so they'll be kind of totaled up at the end. Those gifts will certainly help as well. But yeah, that's it for the session. Are you guys good to play next Sunday? Or next Saturday, rather?
I can't play the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, we will figure it out later then in Discord or whatever. Thanks for playing, everyone. Hope you had fun. We've gone through like 2 pages of the book this session, so that was a good.
I'm proud of us.
We did it. We did it.
Yep. All
That's
right,
about as
stuff,
fast
guys.
as Buddy reads.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.